All right, everyone. Welcome to a special episode of Paranormal Connections radio show. This is not our normal day or anything about it is going to be normal, but for right now, we are going to, as I said, do a special episode where we had announced the other day that we're planning on doing a radio show in 2 weeks, and it was going to be an exposure show. And it was really facilitated because of the fact of all the paranormal bullying that was going on, all of the people out there working behind the scenes, trying to, when they get mad, trying to sabotage other people's careers, their events. It just all over the place. Bullshit. Now, we talked a little bit about, George's experiences, being bullied. I had my own experiences. Many people, I'm sure, tonight as well. We have all experienced it. And again, we're tired of it. We're just tired of it. And, I went through mine years ago. Hey, everybody. Hey, Parotera. Hey, Ellen. Nice to see you. Hey, Kara. It's always good to see you, my love.
Go do the dishes.
You better be nice or I'll drop you and put her on.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
And Kara, you're welcome to call in and join us as well. So again, we kind of talked about it. Everybody's just tired of it. And, I used to talk about this stuff all the time on the show, but it was like, oh my God, it was so time consuming. Like every single week I could have done a show on the paranormal drama. I think everybody agrees it's not going anywhere. Well, I don't know. You George, you still have you're trying to paint the fantasy picture of what the paranormal field is going to be, and we're all going to have hold hands and sing kumbaya and shit. But that ain't going down, my friend. I'm sorry.
It's not going to happen. You know what? I've been having, wishes, and wishes are definitely not going to come true. And you know what? It's not what you just said though. It's gotten worse, and it's been going on for years. But it's not getting better. It's actually not leveling it off. It's getting worse. And now we're hearing threats. We're hearing stuff that just doesn't make any sense. So it's about time that somebody like yourself and myself, well, we stand up for ourselves. We're also going to stand up for other people, and hopefully we'll be able to get people to stand up for themselves, because we're not going to do it for anybody that's not going to willing to step up a little bit. We're not going to do the work for you, but we definitely will stand by your side and help you through it.
Well, that's right. So again, so in 2 weeks we are scheduled to do an exposing show, and that show is going to expose people finally by name. I a lot of people, whenever they seem to get mad at somebody, then they want to contact me and they want me to go after them like a pit bull. And we know that in the past, and certain topics just really bother me, so I do it on my own, for whoever's dealing with this kind of stuff. Um, but it's starting to become a trend that a lot of people want me or the show or something to cover this stuff and expose these people, but they're not willing to do it themselves. So we decided, all right, look, all this bullying's going on, or supposed bullying. What we'll do is we'll give a platform for people to come and be able to share their evidence, and we'll allow them to put the people on blast themselves. It's not us per se calling them out, it's them, and we're going to be there to support them. I'm going to give them a platform to do it. And again, sometimes when you bring these people to the forefront and people really see what's going on, they made the whole bullying thing made backfire, because when a lot of people realize that you're the one instigating a lot of stuff behind the scenes and you're doing this, they might choose to not want to have anything to do with you anymore. And we've seen everything from people expecting people to take sides. And I mean, it's kind of funny because the other night when we did the show, it really actually pertained to multiple people. There's a group of 7 or 8 people that I had been contacted about. Wasn't even any one person in general, but it is amazing how many people they're feeling some sort of way right now because of the fact that I put this up, and they all think that the show's going to be about them.
And it's not. It's going to be about a group of people, and like she's saying, so don't anybody think this is about you, but this is your chance. This is your chance. Look, a lot of you that are bullying people are great people. There's nothing deeply wrong with y'all, but you got to understand this is going to hurt you in the long run in the paranormal. So this is your time to actually, you know what? Just not fess up, but just clean it up and just say, you know what? I'm done. Because the only thing that's going to happen, you're not going to be able to do a lot of things in the paranormal. You're going to be asked not to do paracons. You're not going to be invited anywhere. So now it's not a matter of how bad you love the paranormal and how bad do you want to
Well,
just
or how bad do you want to be in the public eye?
right. But you know, you're also saying that there's only seven. I mean, I'm interjecting, but there's 5 or 7 people that you know of per se right now. Well, there's hundreds of us,
Right.
hundreds of us. So I see the scales, and guess what? The ones that are being bullied, there's a lot of us, and the scale. You guys are up here. There's not too many of you guys. So we're asking you to basically like stop now. Hopefully that Christina George and myself can help you guys say, you know what? Look, I made a mistake. I'm sorry, etc. But once you say you're sorry, guess what? That's it. Clean slate. And we all start all over. And the bullying just stops. But if it happens again, then, you know, then your sorry's not worth than 2 nickels.
Yeah, and the thing is just for the people again, if the shoe fits,
Wear it.
wear it. All right. So if
Right.
you think that the post and the show's going to be about you, it quite possibly could be.
Exactly. It can be.
It can't. Oh, and it always can be. I can
Right.
always definitely have people, but
Right.
don't think that if by you doing this and then running again behind the scenes, contacting people I know, trying to get them upset with me or deflecting or make. Oh, please believe when it gets back to me, you go just top of the list. Top of
Yeah.
the list.
Right.
You might even apologize, and I still might put you on blast. It's to the point that this is absolutely ridiculous, and the egos in this field are absolutely ridiculous. Now, I will say, so when we made the announcement that we're going to do the show in 2 weeks, a lot of people were like, "Oh, 2 weeks is too long. We want to, do it right now. We want to do it right now." Well, unfortunately, on Monday, I've already have a guest scheduled, so we couldn't do it on that. We'd have to do it the following week. But because so many people were wanting to vent before that, I decided that we would do this special episode. And it was kind of like a brainchild. I'm like, oh, this is like perfect. I'm going to start doing something like this once a month or once every couple months. And I'm going to have the paranormal court docket. And we're going to do this segment and we're going to bring forward and discuss all of the drama that happens to be going on at that point. We're going to put the information out and we're going to let the listeners decide on if they think that they're guilty or not.
Right.
But there's a little twist. So for everybody tonight, if you have been bullied, if you have been having other people, other teams, other people in the paranormal try to ruin your career in the paranormal, if they're calling behind your back and trying to get you kicked out of events, or they're interfering in your work, if they got mad at you and they just couldn't move on, and so they're making it their life's journey to just make you miserable, we want to hear from you tonight.
Exactly.
Put the link again in the comments. Feel free to click on it and join us in video. But the only thing is tonight, you cannot, if you're calling in,
No
you
names.
cannot mention names.
Or team member, anything.
Right. You can mention the situation. You can mention, what your thoughts or why they're doing or whatever. You just can't mention the names. Now, if we feel that it is, when we vote on them, we make our decision on if it is something that needs to go further, where these people actually have to be called out. Because sometimes the bullying, it's like we can give some advice of just how the people can just block, delete, move on, and stuff like that. Other things are a little bit more extreme, where they might actually need to be called out. And so if we deem that, there's enough sufficient evidence to move forward to take them to trial, that will happen today. There you go. We got the gavel ready. Boy, oh boy, this is going to be a great segment. So you
And
can't say the name. If you say the name, we're going to drop you out of the stream because
right.
and you won't come back on because again, it is very simple, people, to follow these rules. You can say whatever it is you want, your opinion or your assumptions. I really don't care. You just can't say their name.
Now I've been getting some messages today by a few people that we're causing more drama, and we should just let this be and stop carrying this on. But the people that have been contacting me, I think a couple of them are actually maybe one of the bullies. I don't know, and that's why we're having a hard time with this.
Well, let me say something first of all, because I've been getting some messages too. Like I've got enough stuff going on in my life than to be dealing with these petty people who think that, oh, we're drama queens or we're going to start too much crap.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? Screw you. Don't watch the damn video.
Go watch TV.
Go watch TV. Go for a walk. Go for a hike.
Go to the
whatever.
gym. Go to the gym.
You know what? Go do something. Go help somebody. Go be nice. Go do something, get away from the drama. You can blog me, or how about you can just next week just watch, because next week it'll be a different show. Catching anything? You catching some haters out there?
I got some sucker fishes.
Man, oh man, I'm like, what a bunch of damn crybabies.
Exactly. I feel good that what we're doing. If I didn't think, you think I'm not calling this, I could say, look, I'm wasting 3 hours of my Friday night. This is not a waste. If I thought there was no chance of making this a little bit better, I wouldn't be sitting here tonight. And this to me means more than you can imagine to get past this. We're not going to all be friends. There's absolutely no way. But if we can get past the bulliness, then it's a successful 3 hour show. 3 hours of my life with Christina George and 3 hours with you guys. And hold on, let's cast out, see if we can find herself that wants to come on.
Hey, Lisa, don't worry. I know you want names, but that will be in 2 weeks. And you'll definitely get those names because, again, the one thing with this show is that I am never going to call somebody out by name
without evidence,
without something to back it up, because you ain't gonna be able to sue me. Like I'm smart. I've been doing this long enough that I know exactly what to say, exactly what to do, and how I need to do it. So I am not worried about that. But Lisa, she said they could go watch Ghost Adventurers. Yeah, you can go watch whatever you want. If you want to watch some comedy, I guess go watch.
That's a great show. Stop it. That's a great show. That stuff is so real. Come on.
Whatever. You go watch it.
No, I'm good. I'm very good. I'm excited about being on here tonight.
Pat says, haha, they will be 3 miles from my house in a couple weeks investigating a non-haunted place. Well, go in and you can go and send them a message from me telling them, dumbasses, it's not even haunted. But, hey, it'll be good.
Come on, they'll fake it.
All right. Oh, I am going to bring in our first guest who's going to join us for a while. Everybody, welcome to the show. Hey, Kristen, how are you?
Oh, wow. Look who it is. Can't hear her.
Oh, we can't hear you, girlfriend. Get out of it and then click back on the link and try to come back in because we can't hear you at all. But we see your beautiful face.
Yeah, she's a nice lady. She's so nice.
Yeah, let me again put in the link for everybody who wants to.
Oh man, my arms are
join in tonight.
You know what painting does? It hurts.
Yeah, because I've been doing it for the last few days. I sure do.
Oh my god, my arms are killing me.
All right, and again, feel free if you guys are on the stream, if you want to add or share this, feel free to. All right, Kristen, can we hear you now? No, we still can't hear you. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Let's see. Why don't you call me on my phone and I'll put it on the speaker and we should be able to hear that way.
Oh.
If I could read lips, I would, but I don't know what you're saying. Oh,
Oh,
okay. I'm going to message it to you right now. Hold on.
that's awesome. Hey, Kara, can you look for an extension cord for me, honey?
Okay, just send it to her. All right.
That's
Um,
awesome.
so we'll. I guess she's trying to log on again. I don't know what the heck's going on. All right, we're just going to wait. Oh, we'll try one more time. Bring her on up.
An extension cord. So I can plug in.
No, but I still can't hear you. I sent you my phone number on your messenger, so just call me and then I'll put your audio on the air that way. We got a backup plan, girlfriend. All right. Chrissy says we need to give 2 weeks for time for people to try to change and move on. I agree. Well, thank you,
Exactly.
Chrissy. And again, I'm trying to be fair about this because
Perfect.
people said just because I did the whole dick pic show and it became so popular. Hold on, just a second. Hello.
Hello.
All
Aw.
right, can you guys hear? Let me close out my
I don't know what happened.
screen. George, can you hear?
I can hear you. Absolutely. 100%.
Okay, everybody in chat, if you can hear Kristen, can you do me a favor and please comment in the chat room so that I can see. So hold on just a second, Kristen, and we'll get back to you. So yeah, Chrissy,
Okay.
where I wanted to be fair because I felt like people think that I enjoy calling people out or that I enjoy being part of the drama or whatever. That's not the case. But you guys have to understand that I have a radio show and I cover things in the paranormal. I cover all kinds of topics and I also sometimes cover the drama. That's just how it goes because whatever is we're all talking about, that's usually what I'm reporting on. So
It's happening
sometimes,
way too much.
yeah, and that's exactly the thing.
And recently, guys and women, and it's ridiculous. People are backstabbing, leaving places. Other people are getting physically threatened over the air on other paranormal shows, and they don't even know these people. I mean, this person. But
well, yeah, and that's the thing.
Know about this,
and it's getting a lot worse.
Back and shut up.
Yeah, it's getting a lot worse because it's not just, again, I don't like you, you don't like me, whatever, we just don't get along. No, I mean, it's going to extremes where they're contacting friends and family of the person they don't like to try to trash them. They're threatening, their lives. They're, wishing death upon people, that have cancer when they're doing an event to supposedly to support cancer. I mean, the ridiculousness of all of it is way too much. And again, it's not just here on the West Coast. I mean, I've got people, again, it's like this is all over the place. Hopefully we're going to have one of the listeners. She's going to call in tonight from the UK. She's been experiencing it. I mean, I
just gave her your number.
Good. It's just rampant. Well, she can actually, I'll send you the link. She can just click on the link in.
Try it that way so we can actually see her.
And not hear her either.
Well, no, because that way I can see if it's. I'm not sure why it's going on, but let me send you the link and we'll do it. You can forward it to her. All she'll have to do is just click on the link and that's it on her laptop and she'll be set.
All right, well, let me send it to her.
All right. Okay.
She's the one that we really need on.
Right. Well,
she's the one that needs to be heard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and again, we're gonna have her on on the next show to actually expose by name some of the people that are doing this stuff. But I mean, again, it gives her an opportunity to be able to at least discuss it and share it. Kaz, we just sent you a link. Kristen's going to send you the link, and all you have to do is click on it, and it'll put you in the lobby, and we will bring you on.
Is she in the comments?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, just send it to her.
All right. Everybody's saying they can see. Chelsea says, call out people that have the small paranormal groups or bigger groups that are on, say, haunted space. Again, me personally, I mean, if I've got a problem with somebody, I will call them out in a heartbeat. Everybody knows that. And I've got a few that I am going to call out. But, if people have problem, like if I don't have a problem with the person that somebody else is having a problem with, I'm not going to call them out just because somebody wants me to do it. I'm giving the platform so that you guys can come on and you guys can share the bullying experiences or whatever you've been going through. You just on this show, you just can't say the name. Next in 2 weeks when we have the other show, again, for anybody who wants to come on the show and they want to expose somebody who has been doing this, then what they need to do is send me your evidence to support what you're saying about the bullying. I mean, again, you guys have to understand too, because a lot of you people have been messaging me, and again, a lot of these people are like mutual friends. Like, this isn't a personal thing for me. I'm putting out what everybody else is sending to me, and they want, to be discussed. I'm going to give that platform. But I am, if it's something where it's a bunch of he said, she said bullshit, and you guys are going back and forth, poking each other, don't come to me now because now your feelings got hurt because somebody said something that hurt a little bit, touched a nerve. And all of a sudden now you say, oh, they're the bully. Well, if you instigated it or you're continuing to keep it, going, you're just as much, responsible for it as well. We've said this the other night. There are a few things you can do. Now, again, if it's something that where, people just don't like you. They don't like how you look. They don't like how you talk. They don't like how you act. They don't like what you post on your page. You know what? Well, how about a big screw you? Take pictures, flipping them off and post it and then block them and move on. Because again, it's like if that's the worst thing they have to say to you, you just need to move on. They're not a big threat. You can block them and move on.
Now, I think it's the ones that are actually, we're hearing threats. I think that's what's really concerning to me. It's the threats that are happening. It's not the bullying anymore. Bullying is like, okay, fine, it's bullying. But now it's the next thing. Now the threats are kicking in. Like, we're going to kick your butt when you come to a location. Or I'm going to beat you. Physical threats. Or basically, if you go to a location, I'm going to show up there. I've had those experiences myself, and you know what? It doesn't just happen to young ladies; it's happening to us guys. And being a 50-year-old man, I assure you, I am not going to make the first step and end up in jail. So all I'm saying is, look, you know what? That's one thing I will not do. And you know what? But I will protect myself. Don't get me wrong. If someone's going to come at me, I'm going to protect myself, and we're going to have troubles. But till then. Somebody can call me anything you want, but if you threaten me, that's a threat, and that's going to put you right in jail. I will not fight with you at a railroad track. I won't do it. I'm too old, and I have too much to lose. And so keep on running your mouth, and that's fine. But don't. What's that?
We're too mature for this.
Exactly, and. No, that's right. I mean, come on. But it's getting to the point now where I've had people tell me they have been threatened if they go to a location that they're going to slash their tires or they're going to, break. Come on. I mean, really, over a location.
And we know of people as well, without saying any names, who threaten to attack or and beat up other investigators if they show up at an event or they see them. I mean, seriously, like, what are we in, middle school? I mean, I didn't even do this crap back then, so I sure as hell ain't going to do it now.
Oh, yeah.
Me either. No.
Beat up somebody that just had a stroke?
Right. Right. And again, then we get these same people that all of a sudden, they act like the victim. Then they turn in, then they say, oh, well, I was bullied. Now they've turned into a bully. Now you can say things that, oh, it's confidence. Oh, yes, I got ego, but it's not anything bad. It's confidence. I believe in myself. That's great. But when you are, putting other people, down, like, don't tell me you're this positive person, because you're not. You're a positive, shit talker. That's what you are, but you're not, definitely not no damn victim. That's for sure. And I keep seeing it over and over and over with people happening. It's like they're out there posting all kinds of, nasty stuff, doing things behind the scenes. And let me just tell you guys something. In this field, it may be a very large field, but it is a very small when it comes to circles and, and I don't even want to say main players, but people that have been in there a long time. And it travel, yes, the word travels fast, and it can be either a really good thing and everybody will want to work with you, or it can be a really bad thing and nobody will want to work with you. And you can have the ego that you don't need anybody and you're your own person. Well, great, then you know what, just go do that and have a happy life. But to sit there and continuously try to egg something on is getting ridiculous. And you see this behavior over and over and over. It's not just to one person, it's to multiple people. And you're like, okay, so you say you're not a bully, but look at what you're saying and doing.
Well, see,
over
I don't
and
like
over and over.
what I'm noticing. I've like I said, I've had not as many as emails as you may get, but I've had people say, look, at this person's bullying me, but then all of a sudden they confront the person, and all of a sudden they turn out the bully wants to be the victim now, like they're the victim now, and what it is, you're getting people that are
There's
finally.
Cass. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You just have people now finally everybody's just, including myself, is just exhausted because all I'm doing and that's what you get to a point where you're not wanting to fight. I'm just exhausted, and all I want to do is go investigate. And it's not your location.
Exactly.
And I just want to investigate.
I don't know what we're in competition for.
That's
well,
it.
we shouldn't be in competition. I mean, that's very true. But unfortunately, this is what our field has become.
Yeah.
Everybody feels they're in competition with everybody. Nobody wants to share information. Nobody wants to share location.
It's so stupid.
One minute they love you, the next minute they hate you. And I mean, I've told you about this, before, George, that this is how it goes. That's why, to be absolutely honest, I do not put too much on, if people like me or they don't like me, because just because you think I'm, the best thing since right now, I may say something on this show. Two people already deleted me today, which is again, I actually appreciate that.
Saves you on the Christmas card list. Saves you money.
Well, it saves me just all the drop. So just drop off and move on. And there's all kinds of other people out there. Again, I am not in this for popularity. I'm not in it for numbers. Yeah, I mean, yes, my network loves the fact that I got great numbers, but I could care less personally. It's not about that. I could care less if people like me, don't like me. If I ever work in the paranormal, it will never stop me from continuing to do what I do in the paranormal. But as far as having to fit into any cliques, like, I'm not somebody who's going to kiss anybody's ass just to be able to be at an event. I'm not going to bend over backward, to keep myself silent and not say my true feelings because I'm afraid I'll get blacklisted. Mm-hmm. And once you shed all of those kinds of concerns, you would be surprised at how freeing it is. And you know what? You end up, the people who used to bully you don't want to bully you anymore because they realize you're not going to sit back and take that crap no more.
And I think, and I don't mean to interrupt anybody again, but I feel that's where for myself, because I'm on the paranormal field a lot, and I'm hoping that my skin is going to get a little bit thicker and not get my feelings hurt and be like a little crybaby. But that's where I need to say, what, thick skin now. That's it, and just go through the thing with people. I don't want to be like a threat, like, oh my God, there's George and Kara, that we better not get in their face because they're not afraid anymore. They'll blow us up, so we better leave them alone. I don't want that reputation. I want the reputation of, oh, there's George and there's Kara. They're here to investigate. They do a pretty good job, but we're not perfect. But you know what? Just let us do our investigations. We're only there for 3 to 5 hours. We're old. We want to be in bed by midnight. And then after that, let us go and we'll call it a day. And good luck to your investigations.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and bring Cass Kelly in, and she's actually was one of the people that had originally came forward when we did the whole
Yeah,
inappropriate, unsolicited,
an amazing lady, amazing lady.
sexually explicit type picture. Hold on, just a second. I gotta mute. Oh. Hey, Kristen, can you mute your phone for a minute so I can bring her on so we don't get the background noise? Well, we'll put her down for a minute. All right.
There she is. Oh, there's.
Yeah.
Hey, Cass, how are you?
Hey, how are you guys?
Good
I am.
morning.
Hi.
I know it is very early in the morning, 2 a.m. out there in the UK. And as I was saying, you were one of the first people that I was given information about when you had actually received the unsolicited nude pics of an investigator out in the UK. And we were able to bring attention to it. And the crazy part about it was, I remember you had actually put out the information, and a lot of people on your page and from around gave you a really hard time and did not want to believe you. And it wasn't until a couple other people, came forward. We did the whole show on the Dick Pic Show, which has become notorious. I don't want to say or infamous or whatever. Show, and then it was kind of like, oh, okay, well, all these other people are saying the same thing, so maybe she's not lying. And
Oh,
you actually have gotten that a lot, right?
yeah, it was absolutely terrible. Can you hear me properly?
Yes.
Yeah, you can hear me fine. Yeah, it was absolutely awful. When I first put this out a good few months ago, and basically I was called a liar. He was being hacked, and I was saying no, he's not been hacked. He had been messaged. I got awful messages. Basically, I'm a drama queen. And actually, if you look on my page, this is the first disgusting picture I've ever got sent. And obviously, as you know, in the UK, it's done a little bit different. It is in the hands of the right authorities because I got more than one picture. It was disgusting, and they have took it seriously. In fact, they took it out of my hands, and it's in their hands, so it's sort of gone up a level. But yeah, no one believed me. No one believed me. A couple of teams did. Julie Hollanday and her team did, but it wasn't until you guys, especially you, picked up on it that they people me. But uh, is it Christine Sprouts as well, who always helps the really pretty blonde hair girl? Is it Kirstine? Is her name Kirstine? Who got it picked as well? Can you hear?
She's breaking up a little bit.
Can you can you hear me?
We can hear you, but it's breaking up. It's every
Oh,
other few words.
yeah. I bet another girl and other people got the photographs as well, didn't they?
Right.
Of
Yeah,
the,
we can hear you now.
yeah. Other girl got the pictures as well, and of
Right.
course they, as soon as she said that, thank God that she received them as well, and your show, then yeah, a hell of a lot of people then started believing me. But I still got, nasty emails about about what they've got to do. Somebody, a man, show private part, like that. But yeah, had a really hard time for months, and then it carried to the other with that Hollywood.
Well, unfortunately, we keep keep cutting in and out. Why don't I have you sign out of this, close out of that, and then click the link and come back in? Maybe that'll help.
Okay. See you in
Okay.
a minute.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. So we're gonna have Kaz. Hold on. Hey, Kristen, can you hear me?
Yeah, I mean, cutting out pretty bad. I don't know if it was her connection.
It was her connection. So
Okay.
I know that you know kind of what's going on. I'm just getting a lot of feedback from whatever's in the background where you're at. So
Oh, my husband had his phone on watching.
oh, that's okay. Okay, so
I'm out on the patio now.
all right. So again, anybody who, if you guys want to join in on the show, you can. So our first, I guess, the docket number will be Kaz's, and so a little bit kind of for those who weren't hearing. Again, she had got sent these inappropriate pictures. She tried to talk about it on her page. Nobody believed her. They thought she was lying. It actually got shared, and between Kristen and Kara and many, many others in this field, that
because I found out about it that it was the same guy that did it to me.
Right.
Her and I handled it separate. You know, she didn't really want to come out about it.
Right, and you were.
But I've pretty much been her voice, and she loves me for it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and again, it's one thing, again, when you have somebody who says, okay, this person sent this to me and it was inappropriate. But then when you get multiple people, and there were multiple people for this guy in the UK, absolutely.
And a 13-year-old girl.
Yes, and a 13-year-old girl. And the dad ended up, reaching out. And so there's a criminal case. And again, this is
what was even worse is that his wife just didn't give a shit.
That was true.
To me, like, this is how it goes in the UK. I'm like, no, it doesn't.
Well, I mean, hey, look, everybody has a right to
throw his shit out in the front lawn.
No, I know.
The kids need their dad.
No, the thing is I believe that everybody has a right to live however it is that they choose to live. Okay, right. I'm not going to say that her staying with him is, I would never stay with somebody who I knew was, doing something like that. But again, I'm not everybody else. And people do very, very strange things that I would never agree with. But that's how it is. Hey, the thing is that if you're going to do things like that and you're going to be in the paranormal field and you're being targeted by, you're targeting these people, I can't stop everything in the world from happening or fix everybody's relationship or try to figure out why they would stay with douchebag people like this, but they do. So my thing is like, I can't fix stupid and I can't fix, who they are or what they do, but we absolutely can put them out there so that they are on, people are on notice of what is going on and that there's proof to back it up. And again, this thing went viral and, the guy kind of went into hiding for a minute and then he came back out with this whole bullshit apology. But again,
I didn't get one.
Well, no, of course he wasn't going to send it to obviously there were probably way more than just the few people that came forward, but he did a public apology on his page. Again, it was kind of pathetic. I mean, but again, all it did was make it look worse on himself because he admitted all of it and how wrong he was for doing it and how he's asked his wife for forgiveness and all the crap, whatever. But again,
give it a few months, they'll do it again.
Well, again, and then you'll get put on blast again. I mean, eventually these people will people in this field will see that they continue and they will stay away from this guy and he'll eventually just be investigating by himself.
Yeah.
Well, those kind of situations, though, I think you only get one strike. And I think those people should be escorted out of the paranormal and let somebody else worry about them. You don't get you get one strike. You get one strike.
everybody needs to be put on a blacklist.
I agree, but the
Exactly.
problem with the blacklist is people end up on the blacklist for no reason that they even need to be on a damn block. I was blacklisted.
I know.
Okay, so it's like anybody that just doesn't like you, they can make some shit up, and then you can be
Right.
blacklisted, which is again, and there is no governing body for the paranormal. So as
Right.
far like there's no background checks that we have to go through. There is no guarantee for the clients out there that everything will be okay and there won't be, some
Yeah, it's not even
creepers.
clients that are hearing about it. It's just all of us.
Again, but this is what happens when you have an untamed, ungoverned field the way we do, because anybody can be an investigator, and the clients, they can't really blame their paranormal because they're really not doing their research either.
Okay,
I mean,
so
it's just,
why couldn't we
but
have some type of court system? And I'm not making a joke out of this. Why couldn't you have in the paranormal field? Believe it or not, let's say you have you, me, you have Kaz, you have somebody else, you have the young ladies on the other line, and have some type. When something serious comes up, you have appointed 10 people or 5 people, and you have like a little court thing. And if they are proven so-called guilty, then they're escorted out of the paranormal. Period.
because again, we don't have any unity within the groups on anything. So I mean,
Well,
some people would say, oh yes, absolutely, we'll stand behind you. You see, there's been a huge supporting body behind us, but there's also a whole bunch out there, they're like, oh, you guys are doing too much, oh, you guys are just
oh well.
banning the fuel. So the thing is that even if we did something like that, a lot of people wouldn't have the same decision. So when you
Until
figure
something
out,
happens to a young lady when she's doing a paranormal investigation, and the guy that's sticking out his thingamajigger, the next thing you know, he's raping her in the back room where it's dark, and then now she has what's really sick about this whole situation is then she has to prove to herself that it really happened. Then you can have people like, oh no, he did not, or whatever it may be. So that's the shit. That's the stuff that pisses me off. And you know what? That's the stuff that, you know what? Anything can happen in the dark when you're paranormal investigating. And then what? Somebody gets raped or she gets strangled and this guy runs away and nobody can see who it is because it's too damn dark. I think there should be something that does happen to people, as in escorted out of
Yeah.
paranormal, period. Because there should, that's just my true opinion. Because what's going to happen is we're going to wait for the very last time where somebody actually something happens to somebody and what we should have done. Or if somebody else should have done this.
Exactly.
I completely agree with you, George. But I mean, again, it being a good idea and implementing it are two different things.
Well, you know
And
what?
again, even
I
if
saw an
we
upset
said,
lady. I
hold
saw
on,
cat. Sorry.
even if we said yes, this person we've decided should be out of the paranormal. Look, I know people in the field still today that over the years, I'd probably say 6, 7 years ago, got called out for being, they were on the sexual predator list, right?
Right.
For child molesters.
There you go.
And we couldn't even stop them from having a team or investigating. And eventually, like a lot of people were all up in arms at the beginning, and then as time went on, it's like they can't stop them from doing it as long as so there's nothing that can be done. So it's just again accepted. What we as investigators and people as clients need to start doing is when they hire teams, they need to do background checks. They need to see who
Absolutely.
they're going to be working with. And it's unfortunate that we're at a point like that. But I mean, again, it's either you have to do these steps or you just have to get out of the paranormal, because there is no guarantees in anything. And just for as many people as we could know about and call out, there are hundreds of other ones that are in the shadows still doing it. So
Well,
I mean, again, it's a screwed situation no matter how we look at it or how we go
well,
about
the way I saw Kaz there. Now I could be wrong. You could say no, you're wrong. She looked like she's really she's a nice lady, but it looks like this really affected her. And you know what? What I can get from her voice and how she is, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. But what I'm getting from her, and I've talked to her in this past week, this has really affected her. And you know
Yeah.
what? And it's and that's the stuff that's really just, this is where you want to just find these people and show them, look what you're doing. This is not a joke. I've run into people
it. They
this
just
week
don't care though,
they don't,
George.
but I've run into people this week telling me like they have been this close to committing suicide when they got bullied. I mean, come on. Are we really gonna like? I'm not gonna. Right now. I've already made a stand this week. I'm not sitting back. I'm not sitting back. If I'm fighting for myself, I'm also going to fight for everybody else. Because damn if you think I'm going to find somebody who gets raped. Damned if you're going to see if I'm going to see somebody that, hey, did you hear about so and so? She slit her wrist. because he slit his wrist.
But but the thing is, though, George, is you can't take that on your shoulders because, again, look, this, and I keep trying to tell people that are in this field or want to get in this field, that, just society in general with bullying is bad. But within the paranormal field, it is horrific. It is brutal, and it is not everybody is cut out to be able to deal with what happens in this field. And so some
investigators are quitting because
that's absolutely
right.
true. A lot of people are
sick of everything.
But again,
give up.
How do it's like if somebody really wants to take that, we can't stop that. Like, we cannot stop bullying. We can't, personally we can't stop and fix everybody else's problems.
Well, I think
so they do have to follow some of the advice. They do have to be proactive on some of the things, or they have to stand up and they have to stand up for themselves, and they can't internalize all this and allow it to pull them down. Get into a support group, find somebody that you can trust and talk to them so that they can give you support. There's all different things, but you can't take, especially as an empath, you might want to save everybody that tells you this story, but you can't, because you physically can't go and make people change, George.
No, but being a victim here, I've been bullied. And I just feel since if you get caught bullying people, not just one, but if it's an ongoing track record, you have to be blacklisted out of every Paracon. Blacklist. You go investigate on your own. Goodbye.
But how do you do that? But how do you do that? Because there's no unity even with the people that do the events. There is no continuity or unity anywhere in this field other than in small groups.
But I'm seeing a change in this 1 week to 2 weeks. I really am seeing a change where people are stepping up and finally coming out and telling their stories. And I think if you listen, you have this guy named John. I'm making up a name. And John has been bullying not one, not two, not three. All of a sudden, there's a list of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That to me is enough so-called evidence where, you know what, John, I'm sorry, sir, but you no longer can be in this paranormal. You can go investigate all you want, but when it comes to the Paracons, I think there should be a blacklist. I do feel that if somebody is guilty of something that's a
repetitive thing.
I mean, there should be, but I mean, what there should be and what we could enforce are two different things. Like the West Coast and the East Coast, people who do the events. Now, again, it's not organizations that do these events.
It's people.
They're specific people. Right. And so on the West Coast, we can't even get along with each other. So you really think that just in this situation, right? With the situation here on the West Coast, we have a lot of people that don't like each other and are on both sides of this situation right now, right?
Well, right.
So if this side says, oh yes, well, we say that this person is guilty and this person is just causing too much chaos and we should blacklist them. Half of the other West Coast people are going to be like, oh, we're not going to blacklist you. We don't believe in what they're saying. We're going to come speak at ours. Well, or they just go and do their own. And so, again, these are all great ideas. And I guess in a fantasy world or in the best scenario world, that would be, great, but we are dealing with reality, and our field is screwed up.
Okay, so I look at I love this debate with you, and this is we are friends, and at the end of this 3 hour thing, you're still gonna be my best buddy. Okay, but I do feel if there's threats involved and there's bullying involved, and let's say they those two major things, I do think that they should not be allowed to investigate or be at certain Paracons. I think if your offense is bullying and threatening people, and you're telling you're going to kill somebody or you're going to blow out their tires, why take the chance before it happens? Because the person that's going to lose is the one being bullied. If anybody slashes my tires or does anything,
and again, we're not on two sides, opposite sides of the fence on this one. I am completely behind what you're saying, but what I am telling you is from being in this field for so long and knowing you're never going to get everybody that does events to agree that if a certain body of people, right? Because who the hell are we when everybody else is going to be like, who the hell are you to make that decision on if they're guilty or not? You know,
Everybody has their own
everybody has their own opinions. They have their own cliques. They have their own ways of doing things. So you're never going to get enough unity where everybody says, "Oh yeah, we should have a blacklist." Look, if I see that would happen, it would be great. But I'm telling you, you're never going to get everybody involved. And then the ones who aren't involved, even if you get a good amount of people that would say, "Okay, we'll blacklist these people," all these people would have to agree on your decision that it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have another group of people that are going to be anti everything we do. And so they're going to invite them to the events just to piss off the other side and show them that they are not going to be regulated. This is how this field goes, George. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's like, again, that's why I said people have to start sticking up for themselves and start getting a thicker skin if you're going to be in this field. If you're not, if it's too much, you need to get the hell out of the field. I hate to say it, but that's just how it is.
Absolutely.
People are going to say are going to cause you to commit suicide, you need to get the hell out of this field. You need to get away from any negativity that's going to affect you so dramatically that it would make you want to take your life based on what people are saying. Again, threats
in general, not even with the paranormal, but just
there you go. Exactly.
Get and deal with the public, and if you work with the public, there's assholes everywhere. You
right.
Deal with them.
You're right.
Right.
You're right. You're right.
And you're never going to be able to.
Investigators commit career suicide on their own, and nobody will want to work with them again.
Right. And that's really, I think that's the thing, is just that we have to just keep putting these people on blast. There's going to be a never ending list of them. But the more times that people keep hearing that these things are happening again and again and again, eventually they're going to say, yeah, you know what, maybe we don't want to have this person at the event. And so those dwindle down. But you have to remember, then when you get blacklisted, what do those people do? They just go out and do their own events.
Let them. No one's going to go to them.
Oh, no, please believe that lots of people come because, again, just as many people as don't like them, there's the other 50% that love them. So that's just like if I was to do an event today, me and you, right? Like I got way more haters than you do, but you got a few. And we said, okay, you know what? Screw everybody. They all hate it. We're just going to go do our own event. Do you really think that, nobody's going to show up at the event? There's a whole lot of haters. They'll probably show up too because they just want to see if it's really going to be pulled off or not. But I mean, everybody has their supporters. And we've seen this over and over. People are blindly following their friends because they know no better. They think, oh, that's a good person. And again, people, you only know these people online. You only know what they show you.
Exactly.
If you had any idea, and you will in 2 weeks, the shenanigans that have been going on behind the scenes, it is absolutely disturbing to see what's happening. So, Kaz is back. Let's bring her back into the conversation.
Okay, now, good talk.
Hey, Kaz, you there?
Yeah, hi. God,
perfect. Hear you much better. So, all right. So let's talk a little bit about, we know you got a lot of backlash with, the investigator in the UK that sent you the inappropriate pics. What's been going on since? Because I know you've been getting, ever since you've been, getting a lot of really bad, mean messages and stuff. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on.
The worst was, it sounds, when you say it out loud, it does sound stupid, but it isn't when it is happening to you. And George, what you've been sent is far worse than me. Death threats is disgusting. But at the end of the day, I've been sent, I showed you the link of what we call the Hollywood man. Said about me and his mates that I'm a man, I look like Kris Jenner, I found my dad, and all stuff like that. And look at her page, she's a drama queen. She talks about dick pictures all the time, never in my life. And basically, I'm just being attacked about I look like a man now. But at the end of the day, as you were saying, Christine, I have got stronger. And it wasn't the fact that I'm not going to lie, of course it hurt. It does hurt. I think it sounds vain when you're attacked. It sounds vain, but I've got a problem with the way I look anyway. But at the end of the day, to be called a man, to be called, and you know I'm adopted, and then say, "Oh, I found my dad," or "You're my real dad." It just hurts deeper. It just, you know. But I have stronger, but if it wasn't for you, I'm not just saying that because I wouldn't. If it wasn't for you, no one took me seriously. No one. And yeah, I have got a lot of friends, but no one took me seriously. And that, and I would always be grateful for what you guys do, always, and for others, not just me. Sorry, I didn't mean that. And for others, but yeah. So I've got a lot of that. Um, I've sent it to a couple of people. So they've got the shots of the actual women and men who have said that Kris Jenner, no, not Kris Jenner, you know, who transcended that, you know, I can't remember his
Kris
name.
Jenner's husband, Bruce Jenner.
Yeah, Bruce Jenner.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let me just tell you, you know, Kaz, first of all, you don't look like Bruce Jenner whatsoever. You know, I know that a lot of things that people have said it has to come with your looks, and I will tell you, I think you're absolutely gorgeous. Like, oh my gosh, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, I know that you had, you know, told me that people were making fun of your lips and saying that you look like a porn star and things like that, and that hit very,
it's
you know,
easy to judge a book by its cover.
True.
And when you talk to her, you know, you soon find out she's a beautiful person inside and out.
Oh,
and
100%.
She might not have the biggest voice, but I've been there for her through, you know, the past couple months and trying to build her up to grow a pair of balls.
Right. And I think that that's great. And again, I think that this is, you know, what I wanted to be able to do with the platform is people like you, Cass, because again, a lot of times when we have insecurities for whatever, I know you were teased when you were young, and so having this even as an adult, it comes back and it can still affect you.
Yeah.
But the problem is that again, when these bullies find out that it bothers you like that,
they're going to keep on poking.
They're going to ramp it up, and you know, so again, and then staying in the shadows and not saying anything about it, and you know, they take all your power away. So by getting support, by you know, Kristen and knowing, you know, all of us coming on the show, giving yourself a voice, saying, you know what, look, bullies, you may have hurt me, but you know what, screw you. I'm taking my power back. I'm beautiful. If you don't like what I look like, too damn bad. You're probably jealous. You know, maybe they want to look like a so-called porn star, because a lot of porn stars are absolutely beautiful as well. So, you know, I think that it's a lot of jealousy. And again, you know, women are very catty, and so are men. You know, so the first thing that they want to do is attack our looks, and they see if it's like a fishing expedition. They're gonna talk about your looks, and if that doesn't work, then they're gonna go and they're gonna talk about you and then make a rumor up about you. And if that doesn't work, then they'll look for something else. So, you know, my tip is, as far as this on the paranormal court docket, I think my personal advice would be for you to continue doing exactly what you're doing. Find your voice, stand up. We definitely want to hold you over for the next show so that we can bring you on, so you can actually call these people out by name, put them on blast, let the world know that, you know what, look, if you continue this kind of, you know, behavior and you really want the attention, oh, we'll give it to you. We'll give it to you. All right, we're right here.
Hey, Chris, you remember when you were telling me when we were talking on the phone that day about the Wonder Woman thing?
Yes.
You were like freaking out, and then you were like, you were gonna just run with it and make fun of yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I told her. That's what she has to do, and I just you're blessed with those lips and your looks, and I was blessed with a big ass, and I used to hate it, but I love it now.
Well, exactly. People pay, you know, tens of $1,000s to try to have some nice lips like that. I mean, geez, don't be embarrassed of it. Embrace it, girl.
About the porn star, like, the porn stars are pretty hot. I'd take that as a compliment.
Exactly. I mean, I know that a lot of people would say, "Oh, being compared to a porn star is, something like putting you down." But to be absolutely honest, they're freaking amazing and beautiful. So I would not even be worried by that. But again, just know that you've got support.
And
And
if I can interject real quick,
sure,
everything that she said. Look, when I'm telling you this, I'm talking to myself too. Everything you said, I've been exactly the same words were told to me, but not the porn star and stuff like that. But I've been called an Oompa Loompa. No, I've been called an Oompa Loompa. I've been called small fry. So what you need to do is be like Wonder Woman and just, just block them off, because none of those words that you told me that they called you, they're all false. You're a beautiful young lady. You don't look like no man. You got beautiful lips. You have a great attitude. And the fact that you're on here today, what you need to do is just like that. There was a movie back with Eminem, and it was called 9 Mile. And he got on stage and he started saying, "Yes, I do belong in a trailer park. I don't have any money. My mom and dad are divorced, blah, blah, blah." So what you need to do is beat them to the punch and just say and then they have no ammunition. Go, yeah, maybe I do look like what you don't. I do look like a porn star. I do have beautiful lips. I do this. I do that. And then they have nothing to say. And guess what? They're going to disappear and they're never going to bug you again. But what concerns me is the fact that it's hurt you good enough that you're here today. And those people that are calling these names, I'm so proud of you today to open up like a clam, like a shell. So this is the first day of therapy, and I can't wait for you to blossom like a flower, and don't take this bullshit from these people anymore, because it's all false. Everything that you told me tonight, and I'm there as a guy, I apologize for the other man that called you this. I'm apologizing for these jerks, but you're a beautiful young human being, and be proud of what you look like, because you're gorgeous.
Thank you. Deserve to be treated that way.
absolutely. Well, nobody deserves to be treated like that. I mean, but again, this is the tactics of the bullies and trolls. I mean, they're keyboard warriors, so it's like they can't come and fight you face to face. So what they're going to do is they're going to fight you with their words, and so really they're just
in front of them. It would be a different story.
Absolutely. Well,
Absolutely.
whenever you're in front of them, I was confronted with a whole bunch of my haters at the last Paracon I went to. I was surrounded. They were to the left of me, to the right of me, front and back of me. I was watching. I needed a 360 camera, just surveillance, just to make sure nobody was going to stab me in my back. But, it is what it is. So when you're in this field, and especially do what I do, not everybody's going to like you. A whole lot of people are going to hate you. And again, sometimes I would think that when I'm going to an event, they would want to not be there and see me. But a lot of times my haters do, just so that they can try to say something, but they can't even get a rise out of me. That's the whole thing. And so thank you for helping out the cause of whatever the convention was about. And, I still do my own thing. You have to learn to take that power back. And once you do, I'm telling you, it is so freeing, because there's nothing that they'll be able to say to you, Kaz, that will phase you. You realize that it's just them trying to fight you with their words. There's nothing true behind it. It's only true if you believe it's true.
Yeah, I think I can't wait for the next show as well, because I know a bit how it started. It started when I was and because I went to a convention last year, Paraforce. I used to be in a team, never again. I do it on my own now, just with a couple of friends, which is better. And it started. I can't wait. I've put the links together and I've put the puzzle, and I'm aware now who's behind it all. So, but that'll be on the next show. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I want to say again, thank you so much for, staying up tonight and coming up tonight, and, starting. And this is the platform, and this is the stepping stone. And again, since, all of this came out weeks ago when we originally did the first show on the Paranormal Dick Pic show, you've really rallied. A lot of people have rallied around you. You've made a lot of great connections. And again, if that's the one thing that we walk away with, that you stand up for yourself and you've got support, man, like those are two super positive things that overshadow the bullying whatsoever. Block them and just keep focused on all of us, and we'll keep you going.
We love you.
I say something to you guys? Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Thank all of you. I mean that.
Aww.
I really mean that. Thank you.
Well, we love you. We love you. We love you. And again, we will have you on in 2 weeks. Back to Expo. So you got your gavel there, George.
Oh, I got the gavel, baby. I got the gavel.
All right. So in this case, and in the docket case for Kaz versus the Bullies, we find that there is enough evidence to have it tied over to the following 2 weeks for the exposure show, where she'll come back to fight back and put her bully on blast. So we will see you then. Thank you, honey.
Bye, Kaz. Love you.
All right. Wow. See, first one on the docket, pretty awesome. Now, Kara, I see that you say you want to come on, and yeah, you absolutely you can chime in if you'd like. But I also see you encouraging Kimmy to call out names. So just remember that this show,
no names.
No names. We have to follow these rules because it's important. So again, anything after the fact for the 2 weeks is good, but this is for situations themselves to see if the situation merits sending it over for a jury trial, and you, the listeners, are going to be the jury. So get ready. Okay, so Kara says she's not going to come tonight. Look, she wants to say names. She's like, I just can't. I won't be able to help myself, Christina. So I'm just not going to come on tonight. I'm going to stay in the chat room.
Good choice. Good choice. Good choice. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much, Jesus.
Oh, I'm truly looking forward to the show in 2 weeks, because now, again, I know a lot of the people who this show is about realizes and knows that we're talking about you. So we're not saying any names, but I'm pretty sure that, again, you've got the gist that we're talking about you by this point.
But don't they have a week or so to maybe come on?
That's what I'm saying.
If you want to be called out, you better apologize.
Take this as a warning. And I'm not even going to say that they have to apologize, because, a lot of people, that's too much for them. All I'm saying is just stop. Just stop. If you stop and we don't hear or see any more things going on behind the scenes or on your damn pages and stuff like that, and you just move on with whatever it is you were working on in the first place and just stay focused on that instead of continuing to keep this going, you will be Look, I may have to, end up not doing the show. Well, I doubt that, but I still got to talk about.
You got to do it for Kaz.
We'll definitely, end up dropping you off the list, because, again, it is not my intention to stir more drama up or add to it, whatever. But it is about, I'm trying to warn people, look, stop doing what you're doing. And if you don't, and again, it's not like these people are doing this all publicly, that if they were being public about how shady they were being, I could have a little bit of respect for them, because at least they're being open and honest that there's some shady ass stuff going on. But this isn't. They're playing the victim on their page, but yet they're keyboard warriors behind the scenes in the private messenger, or they're getting their friends to go and threaten people. And again, I find out anybody, I get screenshots where you have physically threatened harm, or you want somebody to die, or any of these things. Look, you already know you'll make it on the list. You're going to be at the top of the list, and there's not really anything that you could say or do at this point that's going to change that. To me, absolutely. I mean, the back and forth is one thing, but if you threaten, somebody with bodily harm, or you wish death upon them or whatever, you're going to get called out. So stop that shit. Because if you want people to see how nasty you are, all these people seem like such nice, sweet, caring people, and it's all love and light on their pages and bullshit like that. And then they're wishing people death, and they're threatening that things will happen to people.
Somebody did it on the air on Paranormal Warehouse.
There you go. You got people calling in, making.
He doesn't even know that he's going to break his jaw.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell are you? I don't even know you.
Right. It's absolutely ridiculous, the people things
He
it'll
needs to
do.
come forward.
But they won't. I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, which on this show is exactly why I said,
trouble or,
well, I don't really care why they do it. But that's why I said, I invited people, if they want to call and they want to share something, they have to come on video or they've got to come on the show. Like, you're not just going to be some random that you could say anything out there. You could just make anything up. Like, I could call into people's radio show and just make a bunch of stories up and just share them. Say, oh, hi, my name is Janice and I'm from Ontario, Canada. And yeah, that person, she threatened me and she did this, or, oh, this guy's a pedophile and I know that, I can't be doing that. There are shows that allow that, and for a lot of radio shows and podcasts that don't do video, I do say too, when we take callers, you should screen your callers the best you can instead of just putting people on random like that, because you never know what might happen. So,
well, it would be great though, because some people that are listening right now may not, they may know that we are talking about them from here to back east, wherever, around the world. This is your opportunity to either come on right now and just say, you know what, I messed up. I'm sorry. Make your apology tonight if you want to. And don't be ashamed. I'll actually have more respect for you tonight. You could be anywhere in the world. If you can hear us, just come on and say sorry. And then guess what? It's a clean slate, but you can't mess up again. You can't trip and fall again. Right now, you are on the ground right now. You have fallen, and I'm reaching out to you. I'm here to pick you back up. But if you mess up again, I'm not going to be there to pick you up. So take this opportunity just to say sorry. And it's done. It's over. And then we can go on and we can go investigate.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, everybody can go on. And what people don't understand is that, here, especially, well, whether you're on the West Coast or the East Coast, there's a lot of teams. And more than likely, those, it's not like people are jet setting all over the country to go to Paracons. Most people stick to Paracons in their areas. The speakers are a very small, close-knit group. If you've seen one of the names, you've seen all of our names. It's until people decide they don't want to do the events anymore and speak. So again, and those are the people too, like, you don't want to, make them choose when people are having, issues, because that's going to cause even more issues. And then more people, are choosing sides, and it's just fighting for, and everybody's fighting over everything and nothing all at the same time, because really nobody really knows what's really going on. So again, if people can't stop, we're going to put the facts out there. And then again, people can decide what they want to do with that information or not do it. If you know that somebody's doing this and you condone that and you continue to work with these people, maybe it'll make some other people around you maybe think a second thought about working with you again in the future.
What if there's a team of 5 people or 6 people, and let's say there's always a leader on a team, on a paranormal team. If one of your teammates is actually doing this, just handle your business. Just say, you know what, you need to stop, because you're making us all look bad. So it's not necessarily the team, but if you have a bad apple, just handle your business and tell them to apologize, because it's just making you all look bad
on the whole team. Because if not, then that means that you're standing behind the behavior. And again, look, we are in a field of, probably hundreds of thousands of investigators at this point around the world.
Right.
And, you have to do some damn investigating. We have got to stop doing the clicks and, oh, just because my friend said this. Like, first of all, they're your online friends, okay? It's not like you grew up with them and, it's like you got like a blood bond or something like that, a blood pack. I mean, you're online friends. So you might like a person, they might be really, really nice online and everything. But again, as soon as they say, look, I could go right now, I could say, or George, you could go on, Kristen, any of us could go on our page and say, oh my gosh, I was just attacked by blah, blah, blah. And the vultures will come out. They'll all be our friends and they want to be supporting, loving friends. And they're like, oh my gosh, if they attack you and you're such an amazing person, we're going to attack them. All right. So really, it's very easy to spin people up and get them to go after it. And before you know it, it's everybody else fighting. But the original people that, started it, they're just sitting back laughing at, what all the commotion is about. We need to start investigating ourselves. When you hear a rumor, and especially when you look at a situation where people in the field were friends, right? Or they worked together, or they were on a team together, or whatever. They used to investigate together and everybody was getting along great. And then now all of a sudden something behind the scenes happened. They had a falling out for whatever reason. And now all of a sudden they're saying, don't trust this person. You know, it's like with me. I had people on there and, you know, singing my praises and how of a great psychic I am. And as soon as they get mad, the first thing they say is, oh, she's a fraud. She's a fraud. She's a fraud. I'm like, well, then you're a freaking fraud too, because you've been supporting me all these years singing my praises. So was I really a fraud back then, or I'm a fraud because you're mad right now? One of the two. Either one, I really don't care. That's their opinion, whatever. But they make themselves look stupid.
Well, you know, you're you bad cop, I'm good cop. I'm hoping that basically what's going to happen is people are going to see, like, let's just whoever it is, and they just say, "Wow, I didn't realize that I was actually making people wanting to hurt themselves. I didn't realize that I was actually being like that." I hope that they just see themselves and say, "You know what? I can't believe I was doing that to those people. I didn't think I affected them that bad." And hopefully those people will come out and just say sorry. I want everybody. I know you've already said this. This is not Candyland. Not everybody's going to get along, but you know what? We're all adults. We can get along. We can. It's just a matter of just trying.
No, we can't.
No, yes, we can.
No,
we can get along.
If that was the case, society could get along. Look, we're all people, right? Everybody, just society get along? Hell no. They broke up into, you know, people fight amongst themselves, fight with everybody else. They can't agree. You know, it's not, they're fighting about politics or race or religion or whatever. You know, people are not always going to get along. Like, this isn't good cop, bad cop. This is reality cop and fantasy cop.
That's me. I'm fantasy cop, then, because
you are.
I know I am.
I mean, I love how you think, and that would be great. This utopia that everybody could get along, but again, that's not reality. And I think that
we don't live in a perfect world,
right? And I think that, you know, again, making people think that, you know, possibly this show or doing shows like this is going to make people have a change of heart, and because now they see that how they're affecting people. I don't believe that whatsoever, because the people that are, or at least the people we're dealing with at this point, they don't care, and they say things and do things specifically to hurt those people.
But you know, all right, so then, okay, so what you just said, okay, fine. Let me touch this one for a second. So what's going to happen? All the threats that I've been dealt with in this paranormal field, do you think, like, this paranormal is so small that I'm not going to run into these people? I know exactly who they are. No names.
Right?
You know, I'm going to run into them, and I'm not going to go hide in an alley and say, "Oh my God," I'm going to confront you, but not to fight. But I'm going to confront you. I am a man, and I am going to confront you. That's how small this paranormal field is. Now, yes, I have the old PPP, professional positive people, but I'm also a human being. And you know what? I don't dig on threats. And I don't like them threatening me. I don't like them threatening you. I don't like them threatening Kaz. You know, there's a time where you're going to hit this level of being just pissed off. And again, I'm not going to cross the line, because I'm not going to do something stupid. But you know what? Somebody outside of me that doesn't have
breed.
but somebody outside of the element of doesn't think like me, there's going to be somebody else that's saying, "You know what? Screw it. I got nothing anyways. I'm going to kick the shit out of this person." You know, or you know, or they're just going to pull out a gun. And it's so sad. I don't want that to happen. But you know, that's the thing though. I may be sane, but there may be somebody you're picking on that's insane, and they're going to whoop your ass. And you know what? And that's what you got to worry about.
Well, that's why I'm saying that, I mean, a big part of this field is, if you're going to be in the field and you want to be socially in there, like, you really just have to learn to get a thick skin. And I mean, again, the threats they're not right. They're completely wrong. But again, you know, if somebody wishes, you know, people wish me be dead all the time. You know,
but to somebody wish me that, because I've had cancer.
I know, but look, I have a terminal illness too. So for people to say, you know, to wish me death, I mean, again, I can internalize it, but that's what they want. They're wanting to hurt me. They're wanting to hurt me. And again,
those people are fucked in the head and they're fit for
straight jackets. Absolutely. But again, that doesn't stop anything, and feeding it doesn't make it any better, you know, because again, it's it's not like the police are going to do anything about it because it's an idle threat. It's
Right.
just they're saying something at the time to try to hurt you. And
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it does. And again, is it right? No, but we've gone from high school bullying to adult bullying, and it's
It's
no
so
different. They're
sad.
just older, and so when you
Yeah.
would say something
And
just to make somebody mad,
the
that's
crazy thing is these people have kids that are probably getting bullied, or they're bullying
could
kids
be.
at school, and their parents are doing it.
Yep.
Could be, and again, unfortunately, it's such a out of control situation. And Kara, yeah, I told you you could, come on and share your story, absolutely, because that'll be one. Stop shaking your head. I'll take you off the box. Yes, Kara, you can call in and you can tell your story because your story, your case needs to be next on the docket. So I think you need to join in because that's another one we have to decide to carry on. Oh, well, we know we're carrying that one over to the next one, but
Christina, Vanessa said she couldn't get through. I guess the line's busy or something. So if you want me to hang up, I'll just let her call.
oh, hold on, let me.
They might get a busy signal. I'm not sure. Vanessa messaged me.
Okay.
And Shani wants to come in. She wants to put her 2 cents in. That's my second in command.
Okay. Well. Okay. Get off and then send them the link because that's what they'll need is the link, not the.
I don't know if they were calling. I gave them the phone number, but I don't know if they have the app on their phone.
Yeah, because I'm on the phone with you, so it's not gonna. They're not gonna be able to get through that way.
Try to set them up with the link. See if they can get in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I sent you the
What?
The link to give Kaz,
What?
and so I'll send it to Vanessa right now. Hold on.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what's going to happen here. Is she can't get on with the link. I'm going to hand her my headphones. She's going to sit down here until she's done. I'm going to walk away from
Okay,
you.
sure,
All
that's
right.
fine.
All right. Hold on. You be nice.
You can watch them. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Okay, so Vanessa, I just sent you the link to your messenger, so you should be able to get in. Hold on just a second. Let me just check some of these comments real quick. Lisa says, "Are you talking about prominent people in the field who have ghost books or ghost boxes, shows, etc., or are these just goofballs in a chat room?" Both.
Everybody in general.
Some people are prominent in this field. Some people are not prominent, but they're known in this field. And some people are not known. They're just shit starters. So kind of a mishmash of all kinds of people. Kimmy says, well, if they're not wrong and don't need to apologize, they're going to have their story told. I've never gotten an apology, only excuses on how it's everyone else's fault. Well, I will tell you, Kimmy, if you're waiting around for a apology in this field, you'll be waiting until you're 6 feet under because it is very rare that anybody in this field, first of all, is going to admit that they're wrong. But then to go and put out an apology to the person that they've wronged or a general apology it is very rare. Most time, they'll just block everybody involved and move on with their shenanigans. So, you kind of have to just learn, like, there's a lot of screwed up people. And in a lot of situations that I've been seeing that's been going on recently is that, again, everybody else is getting involved from all the sides. They don't even know all of the information or what's going on. And before you know it, everybody's attacking each other from all these sides, and then you end up with a personal problem with the other people. I mean, it just spreads like a virus because everybody's jumping in and wanting, and then they get their feelings hurt because somebody else says something mean to them. I mean, look, this is like when these things happen, when we have this paranormal drama, when they really get bad, it is like a true war. Like there are no rules. There's no timeouts. There's not like, oh, you hurt me too much, let's stop. No, it's like once you start it, boy, oh boy, you never know where it's going to end. And so we have to, you got to consider that a little bit. Absolutely. Well, I got something for him too at the end of the show. Don't worry. All right, go ahead. Kara, nice to have you. Thanks for joining. I know you have a lot to to say as well. So you're the next on the docket. It
Okay.
is Kara versus the hater trolls.
So, my bully is actually the same bully that Kimmy's talking about. And um, I just want to tell her that if she did ever get an apology from them, it would be fake because we got a fake apology. But we've been dealing with these people for about 3 years now. We were asked to be on their team when it first formed. And, they had made me an admin on their page. And our very first investigation with them, we kind of realized that we didn't agree with the way they investigated. And because they like to provoke and disrespect spirits, and we are totally against that. So I had posted something on the team page saying, you should treat spirits, how with respect. You would treat them just like you would a living person. Well, next thing I know, I get this notification that one of the team members deleted me as an admin. So when I confronted him, he denied it. And I said, okay, well, it says right here you did it. And he denied it. So I'm like, okay, that should have been like a red flag right there. So then they demanded that I set up an investigation for them. So I have a very good friend who lives in a haunted Victorian. And before I ever met her, she had a woman named Karen come out and do a cleansing. The spirits that are there are the original owners they built the house in the 1800s, and it was the husband, wife, and son. And the son was very negative. So she cleared him, and the husband and wife remained. And things always happened. She had told me about this handprint that was on the outside of a second story window. It was not humanly possible for a person to do that. And just the same day that we came over to do their investigation, they came home and there was a boot print on the dining room table, and no one had been home. So I know the house, I know the stories. And so when we got there for the investigation, I was kind of taking control and saying, okay, well, this is the room that this happened in, let's set up cameras in there. And so they set everything up, and then, they're just kind of shitting and dicking around. And George and I were like, okay, we need to get this investigation started. So we went up to the room that had the handprint, and we're in there, and I'm looking around, and they had set up cameras and a baby monitor in the room with the handprint, supposedly. And I'm looking around, and I don't see anything. And of course we end up getting an EVP in that room. And then we leave the room and we go into the next room, and that's the room that they had set up the cameras and the baby monitor. Well, it was the wrong room. And so when I walked in, I said, oh, here's the baby monitors. And they heard me say that. So we went downstairs, and it was a little awkward, and I didn't really think anything of it. And a couple days later, I get this message on Facebook Messenger saying that they needed to talk to me. And then they started accusing us of faking EVPs. And then they proceeded to tell me that I took them to a house that did not have any spirits, that I had already cleared it. And then when I said, well, when you came out of the bathroom, then why did you say your leg got touched? And they immediately told me that I was crazy, and they said they were going to get a restraining order against me and all this stuff. And so George and I were like, okay, what the hell? So we just kind of went about our business and, went on to do our own thing. And so about a year and a half later, for George's birthday, I set up an investigation at a hotel, a haunted hotel. Well, this same group just so happened to be having a Paracon there in a few months. And Elizabeth Saint was one of the speakers, and amongst others. Well, so our birthday weekend was in November, and their Paracon was January. So I set up a private investigation for a group of friends, and we get there, and one of our friends walks in, and he has Elizabeth Saint with him. It was a total surprise. nobody had any idea that she was going to be there. It's not an event that we charged money for. It was a private investigation with a group of friends. Oh my goodness. When this other group found out that we were there with Elizabeth Saint, they started threatening us, saying that, oh my God, if I had a car, I would drive up there right now. They started posting on social media that the end was coming for us. They started calling Georgia an Oompa Loompa. And then this is when the threat came saying, oh, I wish you would die of cancer. And all this, it was terrible. And the worst thing was Elizabeth Saint was witness to all of it. She saw all of the everything on Facebook and Instagram that they posted, everything. And I was so embarrassed. I mean, here we are, and the first time we're meeting Elizabeth Saint, and all this shit is happening. It was very upsetting. And at that time, we were fairly new. Like we weren't on social media like we are now. And so we were like, oh my God, these people are going to try to ruin us. And, here they are telling everyone that we fake EVPs. And now they're telling everyone that we're ruining their event. Like, I don't understand how that would be ruining their event. None of the people that were with us were even going to the event. And if they were smart, they would have used that to promote their event instead of trying to destroy us.
Right.
Yeah. So that happened about a year and a half ago. And I find out that and poor Elizabeth wanted to get out of that so badly, but she couldn't. And I've been told by multiple people that she was treated horribly at their event by this group just because she was there with us a few months before. So, that was about a year and a half ago or so. And just last week, I found out that they're still talking crap about us, telling people that we are faking EVPs. I mean, when George was on Ghost Adventures, oh my God, it all started up again. Like, it's like we block them. We don't, we just don't want to see anything about them. But like people send us screenshots and pictures, and it's just like, oh my God, like it's just, it needs to stop. I mean,
People
and
know you better, okay? People know you and George better. I wouldn't even.
oh
But I
yeah,
know
no,
what you're talking
I'm not.
about.
Yeah, no, I'm not worried, but I just
That
want
guy,
people.
I was friends with him on Facebook. I'm not going to mention his name, but
Right.
he's a piece of shit,
Yeah.
and they're just going to destroy their own career. Let them.
Oh yeah.
People know
this.
you. People know
Yeah,
you.
these.
Know George. So.
Well, see, one of the things though, Kristen, is, and the problem with this is that some people do know Kristen and George, but a lot of people don't. They're just learning, meeting new
Right.
people and stuff all the time. And again, when people are out there saying this kind of stuff, you'll be prejudged a lot of times. A lot of times people will not like you, not on anything that you've done, but only based on what somebody says or how they feel about you. I mean, have you ever said, oh, you don't want to be friends with that person because, oh, I had an experience with them. And the person will say, oh, well, if you had a bad experience, I don't want to, deal with that person because I might have a bad experience. Yeah. And, they have no idea. I've had plenty of people like come up to me and like at paracons, right, or conferences, and I'm walking around and I'm talking to people I know and interacting, and I'm a little social butterfly, and then somebody will come and they'll say, oh my gosh, I would never believe that this is who you are if I hadn't met you, because based on what so and so told me, you're this horrible wicked bitch, cult leader, drama queen, blah 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 blah. And no, I mean, but if anybody would take the chance to see and see, that's why I don't judge people by what other people say, even in this situation, because even in this situation with, okay, out of the 8 people that there are that ended up on the list that I got evidence on, 7 of these people I am mutual friends with. And I have been friends on social media with them for all, 5 years or more. Okay. So I've done With some of them, I've done events with them. Other people, I've chatted online with them. Other people, they're on my page, but I've never, met them in person or really interact with them. It's kind of all over the board. And again, it's like when things like this happen, a lot of stuff might make me mad, but if somebody came to me and said, "Oh, you have to take a side," my side would be to delete that person, to be absolutely honest. Because if the other person isn't asking me to delete somebody, nobody should ask anybody to delete anybody just because they don't like them. Because it's not their personal fight. Now, again, if you see something, and that's why we're doing these shows, if you find out that these people are doing these things, and maybe, again, you only know these people online, you've never met them, and you would think that everybody wants, it's like George, everybody wants to think everybody's these great people, because that they want to think good about everybody. And then you turn around and you're like, you hear somebody say, "Oh yeah, well, they were just talking all kinds of shit about you behind your back." And you're like, no, not that. They're too nice. They wouldn't have done that. And then the person telling will send a screenshot. And then you read it and you're like, oh my God, they really did say that. It happens all the time.
Well, the funny thing is I've become a good friend of someone else that was bullied by these people. And I found out that she talked crap about me to my friend, and my friend told me that, and she talked about my friend crap about me, or she talked about us to each other. And so when we came together and we found out everything that she's been saying about us, because this person to my face always said, "Oh, I've always supported you and George, and I never said, I didn't want to believe it, but someone came to me and said it, and I've never told anybody else that you fake EVPs." Well, that's BS, because I have multiple people telling me that they've been told that. And so now that my friend and I have become close, the bully, for a little while, like we were the number one and number two enemy, because, we banded together, and she was probably like, "Oh shit, like they know what we've been saying." Now, recently, they've been bullying other people too. So it's just like, to block somebody and move on is it doesn't work, because they're going to continue to do it. Yeah, they're going to continue to do it to someone else until they're blown up. So people need to get exposed for what they're doing, because it's especially for newer people in the field. Bullies a lot of times will pick on the weaker people, because they know they're too afraid to stand up. And I think what you guys are doing is great, because everyone is going to get support, and we can band together and we can stand up to these bullies. And maybe next time they'll think twice about bullying someone, because they're going to be afraid that they're going to be called out, to everybody.
And maybe they'll, we have our own little, paranormal support group over here, where we all band together, and as other people, who think we're adding to the drama or whatever, as they start dealing with the same kind of situations, they'll know that they've got a place to come later.
Drama. It's a freaking problem, and we're adults. It shouldn't be happening.
Shouldn't.
Exactly.
I don't know why we're in competition. You're not. I don't care who you are. You're not going to become an A-list celebrity or A-list celebrity. I can't talk today. A-list celebrity in the paranormal field.
Well, there's a chance. There is a chance that they could be. It's like winning the lottery at this point. But there's a slim chance. So if you really try hard, you might be able to be a paranormal reality star for. Well, you could be a paranormal reality.
Money, and if you have connections and you can travel, then go investigate. But don't get pissed off and jealous of somebody that went to a location that you can't go to or you can't afford to go to.
Well, again, we just have too many people that want the attention. They, their egos get involved, and then they think they're better than everybody else. And again, that's just how we've allowed this as a field. We have allowed this to happen, and want to bring it, but I think that we need to bring it up too. George mentioned it the other day. I've mentioned this for years on my show about these paranormal award shows. Hold on. Before I get to there, Carrot, where's
I'm
George?
gonna get.
We have to.
We're gonna
I have
switch,
to have
but I
him do
just
judgment on to if there's enough
okay.
evidence for us to hold it over for trial, and I do believe so.
Okay, I'll go get him. But I just want to say one more thing. What all this bullying is really doing, it is making everybody lose focus about why we're really doing what we do in the paranormal. It's because we're too worried about, who's, going to bully us out of a location, or they're going to start spreading lies about you. It's like we really need to start focusing more on why we're really doing this.
Absolutely, I completely
Right.
agree. Hi, Mike.
Okay.
Hi, let's see, who else do we have? Carolyn, hi, nice
Oh,
to see you. Hey, Rhonda. Hey, Steve. Good to see you.
before I forget, Christina, there's something else really important, and I know everybody's going to agree.
What was it?
Recently, I guess the last couple of days, there was a post that went out, several of them, and I guess this group, I don't even remember what their name was, they shut their page down, and they've been charging people for investigations, like $300 to go investigate their house, and it's so wrong.
All right. So we'll get to that in just.
Desperate for help.
All right, so we'll get to that one in just a second. All right, so for the docket of Kara versus the haters, with the co-defendant of George,
I heard everything.
Master G.
Mass, you know what? Good cop here. It definitely has to be brought to trial. It definitely needs to be brought up. And I think that definitely, unless there's apologies thrown out in the next 5 to 7 days or whatever the thing is, true apologies, I truly feel that they need to come. They need to be. I'm putting the gavel down. They need to come. That's
All
it.
right.
That's number 2.
I think George has overridden, anything that anybody else says. This is definitely being held over for a court. Trial
Yes.
will begin in 2 weeks, so that is on the docket. So you will definitely, for these ones, you will definitely,
Want to
when
be
you
here.
come in 2 weeks,
Woo.
will hear the names of the
Oh.
people that they are discussing. It's all going to be put out. So, and
whoever's
again,
on their team, maybe they need to make some better decisions, because I know who's on his team, and I like this person, and I've never had a problem with this person, but maybe she needs to pick other team members, because the person is
again,
about George, and
well, right, but the whole team, whether it's one person or not, again, if the other people on the team don't step up to say, "Hey, this isn't okay. Let's knock it off," then they are guilty. Then they are guilty as a group, because again, if you're going to support, or you're not going to do enough research to know what's really going on and what your team members are doing behind the scenes. And believe me, in some of these situations, the team members absolutely know, because they've joined in on it. So we're
absolutely.
not, we can't even play the stupid card on that one. They all know. And so if you don't stand up, and stand out and get out of this, then you're just as guilty as the rest. So they'll have a bunch of co-defendants, and they'll all be put on blast. That's the way it goes. All right, so now we're going to go to the one you were just talking about, Kristen. All right, so we've got a group that is out.
The name of this group.
We're not saying the name of the group, but we will say it if it gets held over. We'll definitely say it on the name of the name of the group on the next show. But we've got a paranormal team that is out there charging for investigations. And we're not talking a little gas money. We're talking hundreds of dollars. All right. Is this something that we should tolerate? And again, everybody in the chat room, I'm trying to keep on top of all this. Make sure to let us know down in the comments. Do you think this is right? Is this something that we should talk about? And should we call them out on the show? What's your thoughts?
I personally don't think so. Only because, you know what, it's your choice. If you want to, if they're charging hundreds and hundreds of dollars, you know what? Then if it's too much, or if it's it depends on the location. Though I truly don't think they should be called out. It's your choice if you want to spend the money and go. You know what the going rate is for certain locations. I mean, it's
No,
up to
we're
you.
talking about private locations, private clients.
Innocent people taking advantage of them, charging them.
Oh,
They're
oh.
charging them to investigate their home to help
Oh,
them.
oh no, 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 no. I'm so sorry. Let's retract. Yes, they should. Let's talk about that one. No, that's ridiculous, and I'm sorry that I was confused. I'm a man, and you know what? That's my excuse. And I definitely think that if that's what's happening, absolutely. Let's talk about it. Let's bring it on the docket. Let's talk about it and see what. I want more information about this one for sure.
Well, this is unanimous because we've got everybody's in the chat room, and absolutely not. Hell no, it's not right. Um, Hell no, charging. Hell no, nope.
Can you can't even say the loc? Is it? Can I don't even know this location. Is it
No,
in the
it's a private residence, so it's a private client that reached out to a paranormal team, and the team said yes, we can help you, but we charge $300 to help
Wow.
you.
Right.
Wow.
So and this
And
has
after
been
everybody chewed their ass out, they ended up deleting their page. So I don't know what happened to them or what their name was. And there's a celebrity paranormal investigator that was on one of the shows that's doing it on his own too, and probably using his celebrity status because they want him in their house, and he's doing it also.
well, right, and little is known. Again, not a lot is really known on like how everything works in the paranormal. So when you get clients that need help, if it wasn't hard enough for them to find help before, like when I first started, okay, when I got in the public eye, it was like 15 years ago. And I've been investigating way before that, but in the public eye, 15 years ago. And, there were barely any teams out there anywhere. And so there wasn't much of a selection. And so they just had to take the luck of the draw and hope that you could help them, right? Now they're just in Sacramento area, Northern California, there's hundreds of teams. And so, it's not like there's a Yelp page for, that somebody they can get a rating on, are they good? Are they full of it? Nobody knows. So it's trial and error. So people are out there doing it. So a lot of clients don't know any better. You can say, oh, we've got a psychic on our team, or, oh, we've got somebody who specializes in cleansing. And so this is why we charge this money. And then we travel and all this kind of stuff. Where if they would have probably checked with a few teams, they would have figured that, doing the investigation, the travel, the doing the cleansing and all of that is very basic part. There was a woman out in the Los Angeles area, and she considered herself, to be very prominent. Nobody knew her, but she considered herself prominent. Again, people with great egos, their own best friend. So anyway, she decided that she was in more into the occult. It has been that way. In the paranormal, we didn't start out that way. It then became very taboo to charge for anything because most of us there were, again, had our own personal experiences that got us in here. We needed help. Now we want to be able to help other people. But so they were.
I'm not talking mediumships doing private readings. I'm talking about
just an investigation and helping. But so this person decided, okay, well, she wanted to get into the paranormal and she wanted to run a talent agency, and she was going to get a bunch of talent and she was going to basically pimp them out to the conventions and get paid all this money, and she was going to make money and the speaker was going to make money and all this was going to be great. And until she found out that's not how it works. And then she said that anybody in this field that was, and she publicly called everybody out. So it was pretty ballsy, but it blew up in her face. So she said, anybody in this field who any team that does not charge for their services are hobbyists. They are not professionals in this field, because if you were, you would be charging, right? So it really offended me. So, and it offended a lot of people. And then she continued and she said, "Oh, I can't stand the paranormal field. And I think that, if I find out, anybody else talks crap about me about the topic of charging, I'm going to put a curse on them." And I'm looking at the post. I was like, serious? You're like, you want to work in this field and now you're calling people out. You're saying you're going to put a curse on them. You're telling people they're not professional, that their hobby is. Like, you are just absolutely offending anybody and everybody out there. And we had this big debate. She swore I was wrong about it, and now she's nowhere to be found. She's in the back, hall somewhere doing something. Nobody's paying attention to her. Because again, this is how this field works. People can shun you in a heartbeat, whether it's for the right reasons or the wrong reasons. It could be a truth or it could be lies. You never know. It's like when the wind changes, everybody's opinions and what they do changes. So it's just like swaying with the trees. That's why it's like, okay, today I got 5,000 people who love me. Oh, tomorrow I got 4,998.
That's right. I'll probably have people delete my ass tonight after this one. And I don't.
But that's good.
I don't care.
That's good.
And no, I don't. But it's not about numbers. It's you know what?
There you go.
It's all about basically what I believe in and what I'm standing up for. For one
Right.
of the first times in my life, I'm standing up to what I feel is right. I'm standing up for the Kaz's or the Kaz. I'm standing up for myself. I'm standing up for my wife. I'm standing up for people that are just need that little push. I'm standing up tonight. And you know what? That's why I do it. So I can have one friend, two friends, and it doesn't even matter. It's Facebook
Right.
friends. Don't get me wrong. It's
Right.
it's Facebook friends. And,
Right.
I don't mean it rude. I care very deeply about everybody. But you know what? It's Facebook, guys.
And even if it was personal friend, I mean, my opinion is that if my opinion offends you so much,
delete me.
That,
get out.
Right, that we can't even, because again, I don't agree with everybody, and I don't expect everybody to agree with me. We just agree to disagree. That's okay. It's opinions. It's not, that's the way life works. And we have the choice to surround ourselves with the same like-minded people.
Yep.
Or not. And so for me, it's kind of good when I see people delete me, because I'm like, you know what? You just saved me from having to find you out and delete you myself. So you already have an issue with what I'm saying. You will probably really have a problem with me by the end of the week. So thank you for just deleting yourself, and I'll move on. It's all good.
I had a discussion real quick. I had a discussion with somebody 3 days ago about having awards and trophies and all this sort of stuff. And we had a debate going on for like an hour and a half. But what was really great at the end of the debate, at the end of it, we still have love and affection and friendship with each other. It's two adults giving their opinion about having trophies. There should be no trophies in paranormal. I'm against it 100%. It starts egos, it starts fights, and it starts just people doing it for the wrong reason instead of doing what they believe in their heart. But what I'm trying to get is one of this discussions I had with this young lady. At the end of it, we weren't mad at each other. We said, well, we appreciate your opinion. And yesterday we woke up saying good morning to each other. Like, hey, good morning. Have a great day. That's the difference between having people like us that are adults and that have a straight mind, and the people that just are in it for the wrong reason. And that's the trophy thing. But I don't believe in any type of certificate bullshit. You do it because you are born to do it, or you crave to do it, or you do it for the right reasons. You start. What's that? To help people.
To help people, right.
Absolutely. And
Shani,
you know what?
Yeah. Shani in chat is saying, I avoid private cases. They need therapy, not an exorcist. Well, I will tell you, Shani, that might be your experiences, but I will tell you, I actually am more drawn to private cases than going and investigating locations. I could care less about going to a haunted location. Shit, everywhere I go is haunted and I see them. So I don't need to go pay hundreds of dollars to go and say, oh, can I see if I can see something or I can experience something here? Oh, no, I'll pass. But the private cases are usually the people who really, really need the help. And again, yes, there are people that are crazy and they do have some, issues and that we cannot help. But I will tell you, even people who have mental issues, uh, normally when they say that they have activity, oh, they usually do as well. So it's not that it's all in their head. But again, um, yeah, everybody doesn't need an exorcist. Most people do not. Let's just put it that way. You need stay far away from the exorcist.
Right.
Especially if you don't need it, because you can just cause more issues with everything going on. But those are the people who truly need, our help. So there's two. I always say that there's two sides in the paranormal. We have a side for investigating and researching, and we always need people in that side. If you are interested in this field, that's where you need to go. Now, the people who grew up having experiences, they're in it because it's their calling, not because they're interested in it. They've found
they're going to get on the show,
right? Yeah, not trying to get on the show, not worried about
really in it to pick up women.
Right? Yeah, we're not picking
Right.
up in it for the right reasons. Like we are drawn to the private cases because we don't want anybody to have to go through the same things that we went through, our friends went through, our family went through, whoever we know. We've seen it firsthand. We know how it can affect people, and we don't want that. So we're trying to go in and help them. Now, the people who are doing this as a hobby, you need to stay the hell out of private cases. I mean, again, go and, go hang. If you like to just go and, if you like to say, drink or get high or whatever before you investigate, yeah, stay out of a private client's home. There's a lot of things, but again, because there's no regulation in this. Again, people who are looking for teams have to be more diligent and really trying to get some information on the teams before bringing them in. I mean, it's like a, Russian roulette. You might get someone that might, be perfect, and you might get somebody that might make things 100 times worse for you. You
Yeah, but
never know what you're going to get.
but you know what? It's something that you just said though. You have people that because you said this months ago, because they wear a black shirt, black hat, black jeans, black shoes, and basically anything black. All of a sudden, I'm a paranormal investigator. So then they jump on this residential stuff, and the next thing you know, they watch one or two shows and they think they know how to cleanse a house, or they watch one or two shows on these stupid shows are out there. And the problem is they're not grounding themselves. They're not
Yep.
meditating. They're not doing anything. They're not doing. Look, I'm not perfect. I'm just saying I'm still in my learning stage. But you know what? I know for a fact you don't go into residentials and you charge money, and then you don't. You're like, oh yeah, there's demons in here. You lie to the people, and aren't you going to help me? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. You're going to have to call. You're going to have to call somebody else to do it. And they cause more ruckus, and they cause more fear because they got a black shirt on, black pants, black jeans, black hat, and they think they're a paranormal investigator. That's the stuff that concerns me, because you know what? There's a lot of people with serious issues in their house, and they actually end up, the people that come in thinking they're investigators, stir up more bullshit than help. That's how I
Right.
feel.
And Stephen in our chat, and hey, Steve, I know him and his wife, he says the satisfaction should come from helping people in need, not an award. And I do want to touch, back on that, because I know you did a, it's crazy, and I'm gonna start getting mad. George Allison has become my competition, because every time that we have a conversation, then he jumps on his live stream and he does a live stream and talks about it, and then I'm like, oh, I was gonna talk about that, but now I don't want to talk about it because everybody else already talked about it. So I'm just gonna make a post saying go to George's page and watch this video, because I feel the exact same way. But anyway, we were talking about the award show. Now, I have talked about this again in past years on the show, because years ago, I every year would be nominated. I mean, because there's been a few award shows that have gone on in the paranormal over the last 15 years. And most of them drop out. It's like they do it for a year or two, but it's like it's not making them any money. It's really not doing anything. So they usually do it a year or two, and then somebody else picks one up. So anyway, I've been nominated for them. I've won, a couple of I hate them. I absolutely hate them. And in fact, I knew that I won one time, and I didn't even know I was nominated. Somebody nominated me, and it was just whoever was following that page voted for me, and I got the little certificate award in the thing. I really hate the award shows.
Radio shows, or
it was for radio shows, paranormal radio shows, Rookie of the Year, Best Paranormal Team, Best Paranormal Rook. And there was like about 50 categories, all right? And
nobody knows anybody, and they just vote for whoever.
Well, yeah, what it is somebody nominates you, or in most of the cases, you can nominate yourself. And yeah, like that's a joke. Okay, so you already can tell from the beginning this is a joke anyway, because if somebody has to nominate you or you can nominate yourself, that's a problem right there. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And it has nothing to do with what you've done in the field to be nominated. Right. It's not like the Emmys or the Grammys or something like you have a great, movie, or you have a great, charting song or any of those things. And so, okay, we're going to take these 5 people and we're going to put them in the award category and see who gets picked. No, it's anybody that thinks they would like to have an award and get some attention to themselves and make themselves feel important. And
it's a popularity contest.
Yes, and I was just about to say, because how they win is once you nominate yourself or somebody nominates you, then you're supposed to go out and you're supposed to give the link to your page that they can go and nominate and they can vote for you. And whoever has the most votes wins. Now, I'm sorry, you could be somebody that has only got 20 people that have, voted for you, and you could have some amazing evidence, right? You could have had some evidence and you didn't even share. You're not big on social media, so it didn't get out to a lot of people. And then you can have somebody who fakes EVPs, and they've got, you could be a Steve Huff, and you could get nominated and sue me. I don't care. So you can, oh shit, I said we wasn't calling anybody out. Well, we're not, he's not on the docket, unfortunately. But if he was on the docket, we would have had to take him off. But he's not on the docket. That's an old story. So anyway, if we put him out there and against this other person, and so all of his people go in and vote for him, a little click, then all of a sudden, guess who wins? Mr. Huff wins because he knows more people, and more people saw his post, and more people went to go and vote for him. It did not mean that he's done anything of precedent or anything of merit worth acknowledgement. And again, we got to look at what people are getting. They're getting a damn award. If you need some comfort, you need a pat on the back, look, message me. I am going to print up a bunch and I will send you a Paranormal Greatness Award. Okay? And you can be the star for the month. And I'll send one out to each person each month. Look, really, and you said it great, George, the other day when you did your live stream. There is enough drama in this field and enough competition than to throw in a damn award show. And the thing is that the person who's throwing it is a good friend of mine, and I absolutely love him.
He
great. Has great intentions and all of that, and I get, what he's trying to do. But I just think that we're in a time where I've seen it over the years. It causes so much competition because, again, when you get a winner, the first thing, everybody else is going to call foul. Oh, well, this person knew. Oh, I heard it before.
Exactly.
Oh, they had people vote a couple times. Oh, they went and told everybody else to do it. Oh, and we have much better evidence and we're a much better team and they've been discredited. Oh, and then you want to talk about all the skeletons coming in. Oh, yeah, they'll pull out everything. And if they can't find anything, they'll make some stuff up to try to make that team look bad. Exactly. So, all it is people going and voting and who has more friends that see the post. That's all it is. So if you get an award, I'm sorry. I don't want to tell that you don't deserve, but you don't deserve it. I'm sorry.
Right, I want an award because all my friends vote and don't have no clue what I do.
Okay, well, I'm going to send you one, Kristen.
I'll make you
a Paranormal Mafia award. And you're going to be the star for the day, and nobody's going to vote for you.
Award.
Okay, you'll be the paranormal anti-bullying advocate award.
I'll tell you what, I would rather have no award bull crap. I think it would feel better inside if you see people on the street when you're doing your paranormal investigations, like, they go to you, hey Christina, you really do a great job in the paranormal. To me, that means
Absolutely.
that means a lot more than a stupid
100%.
trophy that I'm going to sell at a garage sale for 10 cents to some kid that he's going to whatever he's going to do with a BB gun. I'd rather hear like from you, like Christina. Hey, great job. You guys, your team did a great job 3 weeks ago at that location, man. I really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for getting us answers.
Absolutely. And you know what?
I could nominate somebody. I know he'd win an award.
Who's that?
Him and his wife, Tony and Sherry Rathman. They definitely deserve an award.
Well, I'll pretty much send me. I send everybody an award. Everybody wants an award. Everybody can be a winner in my book. In my award show, everybody's a winner. That way everybody feels great that they've accomplished something or whatever. I love you guys all. But if you're doing these award shows, I'm sorry. Like, I just don't share it on my page because I really just can't support this. It's a popularity contest. The award means nothing. Absolutely nothing. I mean, it's not like you completed a class and it's like you can put it up on the wall and you did this great job. No, nobody's going to see it. Nobody acknowledges it. It's only for you to make yourself feel better. And if that's the case, print yourself up an award. Frame it, put it up on the wall.
I've already told you. I was just at Walmart yesterday, and I swear I saw some for $3.99. And when you get a black marker, put your name on it, put it on your shelf, and hey, great job.
Superstar. That's right. And just walk by and pat yourself on the back every time you pass by it, and it'll be all good.
If I could touch it one more time, I had someone ask me, because I played sports all my life, and they said, well, what's the difference between paranormal and, let's say, baseball that I played in? Why should there be trophies there? Why are there trophies there? Well, when you get a trophy there, it's actually a team thing. You all get a trophy for first place, second place. It's a team trophy. Big difference between an individual trophy.
Yeah.
So when you have an individual, like the MVP. So if you get a trophy that says MVP, that's just not needed in every sport. That's not needed in the paranormal. Now, if you have a team thing, now we all win. Let's say I go out today and I get the best evidence anybody's ever gotten. We all win. We all get the same thing. We all get the applause because we're all working. And now this is where I come, people think, oh, you live in a fantasy world. We all win. And that's the stuff I'm trying to throw in people's head. If somebody gets something tonight in an investigation, that's just, we all win because there's less of us in the paranormal than there is in this whole entire world. We're at a disadvantage. We're the geeks on the street chasing stuff that people can't see. And I just feel that, this whole paranormal thing just does not need any individual trophies because it creates egos, fights, and that's why it doesn't belong. And that's it is what it is.
Well, Shani says that she's going to vote for Kristen because if not, she'll beat her up if she doesn't. So.
Oh my God.
That's so funny. Well, again, let's see. All right. So, Chad. Hey, Chad. Nice to see you. He says from 2013 to 2015, I was involved in the Para Awards that were done by merit. My book, The Paranormal Dictionary, won for Book of the Year. The book is used by teams worldwide. I never felt bad about winning it. Now, again, okay, so...
That's different, though. That's totally different, though.
It is, but again, Chad, I've known you for a long time. I absolutely love you as well. Your books are great. Your classes are great. What you do is great. But again, we both know that these awards shows that have been out there since before 2013, to be honest, it's always just been based off of votes, and it's always been, who has the biggest following to get the most, votes. Does it take anything away from that you have an amazing book? Absolutely not. The Paranormal Dictionary, I think everybody, team should have it. I think that is very important. But again, it's not taking away from anybody who has won it, based on what they've done. But again, it's not like there was a group of a panel of judges that went through all of them and they said, okay, we've read all these books in this category and this is the person that we did. It's not that way. It's never been that way. It's all been about the votes that you get. And so if you promote that you're going to get an award and all of your friends go and vote for you, absolutely, you could get somebody that has a crappy book, but if they've got enough people out there that will vote. So again, it's not taking away from anybody that has won or what they won for. It's just the structure of how you win. It's not like a regular competition where you've got a panel of judges and they go through all the evidence or they read all the books or they personally interview the rookie of the year investigator to see why their story. It's not any of that. It's just how many votes you get. So that's my personal problem with them. Again, some people love them and there's nothing wrong with that either. It's to each their own, but I personally I'm good with all that. I've seen more drama that it's created than pulling people together in positivity, because for every single person who would win these different categories, the other people who were in the running, you would end up hearing them talk crap behind the scenes or sometimes publicly. It really just depends on who it was. So again, that was a big part of it. Let's see. Lori says, I think our clients are the ones who really deserve the awards for going through what they have to live with. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I completely agree, but let's not put that out, because all of a sudden now they'll be issuing awards out for a $39.99 fee at the end of their case.
Right? No,
with this, you can prove that you were a superstar, client, and we fixed everything for you.
There's just certain things that don't need any type of trophy, and paranormal is just one of them. Trophies are great if you need it to feel important, but you know what? It's just not needed in the paranormal, because I truly feel that we all do exactly the same type of work. Everybody, I feel, is equal, and we all give up our late nights. We all give up everything. We put our life on the line. We do put our life on the line because anything can happen. But you know what? So I feel that, bottom line, just not in paranormal. There is absolutely no room for trophies, certificates, or anything. Just do it because you want to get answers.
To be in competition, and you know what? If you need recognition, that like make you a page, get reviews, and all of that. Again, to each their own. Yeah, exactly. People want to do that, to teach their own. But again, I just don't support them, and I don't vote for them because I think it's a bunch of crap. Elizabeth says the true award is the satisfaction of knowing you've truly helped someone. Absolutely.
Exactly. You need an award, it makes you feel good.
Right. That's having the clients at the end of, like when they call you after you've done the investigation and they say, man, thank you so much because I finally got a full night's sleep. Oh, my children aren't afraid to go to sleep anymore and they sleep in their own beds. That's the kind of awards I want. That's the kind of praise I want. You don't need to give me a piece of paper because it'll end up being start my fire in my fireplace, or it might end up in one of my drawers that I'll never see it again, and I don't got an ego where I got to put, frame it and put it up in the wall so I can walk by and see it every day. That's just not who I am. Hey, Tony, nice to see you here. Yes, you got a shout out by Kristen. Absolutely. Let's see where we are. Okay. So
Chad got the most legit evidence I've ever seen out of anybody.
Gotcha. So Chad was saying that when he did when he was in the award show with there was a panel. So again, I stand corrected. If you were in an award show, there's a panel, and you are being judged on your merit and the information that you're putting in, opposed to it being a popularity contest. Yeah, I completely get that, but I'm sure there's probably some drama there. Everybody always thinks that if they don't win, that there was they were set up somehow, or the person who won knows the judge, or it's nothing new. Let's see. and Chad said mine was read by several retired literary agents. Well, then Chad, was it a paranormal award? Because I've never heard of any paranormal awards that have all that. It's usually, just somebody puts the website together and then they grab a bunch of people that are nominated. They put on a post. Whoever gets there, that's who it is, and everybody votes. So, if not, that's good. Chico White Wolf, welcome to the chat room. Never seen you before. Nice to see you. And Lori says, in all reality, everyone is a winner in their own way. I completely agree with that. All right. So, paranormal awards. Let's get the list of the listing. Let's get the opinions of our listeners. If you think that the paranormal awards the way they are now, where it's a popularity contest, you win on based on how many people vote for you, do you think that that is fair, or do you think that it is not fair? Please put your comments in the box below and let us know before we get ready to go on. Oops.
Hey, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm separate wiping it tonight and making chocolate chip cookies for my hubby. So.
Awesome. Well, we will talk to you soon. Thank you for joining us, and
thank you.
We will see you again in 2 weeks.
Yes, you will. Less than 2 weeks, right?
Oh, yep, less than 2 weeks. Yep, less than 2 weeks.
All right, love you guys.
All right,
take care.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, so let's see. I think that my mom, to be honest, is waking up, so we might have to. I'm trying to see if my brother goes and helps her. If not, then I might have to. All right, so people are saying not fair. No, absolutely not. Looks like again we're kind of everybody's on the thing. No popularity contest. No. And Kimmy says no, even though she loves one of the people who's nominated. Pam says not fair. So, in fact, let me put some of these up just so in the stream you can see that I'm not just making this stuff up just to be one-sided. I'm just going one by one, and this is what they are all saying. We've got Steve says not fair, not needed. All right, so I agree. Obviously, we're not sharing, sending that over to the docket because our friend is the one that is, doing it. This is just our opinion. And again, maybe this will get out to some of the people who are doing the award show that, do we really need these? I mean, how is it helping the field?
It's not. It's hurting.
That's my question.
It's not. It's hurting the field. It's just creating more drama. And it's just it will create a fight. It's kind of like, it's kind of like, again, back to baseball. It's just going to cause a full bench brawl, and people are just going to jump off the bench and start arguing about if they don't win. It's just not needed. Period. It never will be needed in the paranormal, ever.
All right, Shani is saying that she has a comment to make if there's time. Absolutely. If you want to chime in, feel free to click on the link. I will put it in the comments once again. Then just 1 second.
Your mom's okay? Sorry.
I don't know because I've got the door closed in here, so I'm hoping my brother...
I think you covered a lot. It's been 2.5 hours. I think you.
Yeah, if not, we might have to finish, but we'll let Shani come on, and
yeah, I think
then we'll go from.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll go from there.
Yes, ma'am.
Oops, hold on. Oops. Of course, my computer wants to go slow now.
That's okay.
Can somebody grab? Oh wait, maybe I can get in now. If not, if somebody can grab the link and put it in the chat room, I would appreciate that. For some reason, my computer is trying to go slow. But the other thing that we have to talk about is the paranormal donkey of the day. Oh my gosh, something's weird going on. I'm looking at the stream, and it was like we were all like going crazy, like I was like demonically possessed or something. I don't know what the heck is going on.
It's paranormal.
It's paranormal, absolutely. Come on, Paige. Okay. All right, Shani, I am putting it in the comments, and you can click on it, or maybe I can just send it to you directly.
And what's her name? I'm sorry.
Shani?
Shannon. Okay. Got it.
She's friends with Kristen.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Okay, great.
All right,
I'll tell you, Kaz really, you know what? My heart goes out to her. I mean, I could just see so much pain in that lady. It's, you know.
But you know what? Instead of us feeling, sorry, for her, I mean, absolutely, I feel sorry for what she's had to go through. But I think that more so, we've been able to help her to find her voice.
Yes.
Give her the support to be able to stand up for herself. So, I mean, see, that's the whole thing is that when I don't want people to put themselves in the box or anybody else of, putting them into this victim box,
Right.
or the victim title, the poor, so and so poor, look, this is how life is. But again, some people don't have the confidence or don't have the support to be able to feel like they can stand up. So that's what I'm happy about, is that she's able to find that. And so maybe now, because again, it's not like we can magically stop people from bullying, somebody, or stop saying mean things to people. But
Right.
again, if we can make her find her voice, and where it no longer affects her the way it did,
Did you see her
or
change
it gets
real quick?
upset.
I saw her change from the first moment that she got on to the moment she left.
Yeah,
She seemed stronger, and she seemed so much like a warrior. By the time she got off with you, she looked stronger. She really did.
absolutely. Oh, hey, Elizabeth, thanks for joining us. No problem. We're gonna um, be done soon. So, all right, Shani. So I sent you the link. If you want to join, feel free to join in. Let's see. Um, MC Rathman saying, not agreeing with popularity. It's about sharing experience, evidence, and helping others. I completely
Cool.
agree. You guys got some great stuff. Tony says, paranormal has already become too much of a popularity contest. That has nothing to do with why this is done. All right, Shani is here. Let's bring her on.
All right. All right. Awesome.
Hey, you guys.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I'm really great. How are you guys?
I'm good. Welcome to the show. Glad you made it.
Okay, so first things first, it is National Wine Day. You all know that? Are you all
Oh,
drinking wine?
Where's she at?
I don't drink
Drinking
wine, but
wine.
have a drink for me. There you go.
I will. I'll take yours. Okay,
Perfect.
so what I wanted to say is that most of what I had to say already, Kara kind of covered. But quite honestly, um, this bullying issue and this issue of, people taking sides and there being haters and all this stuff, I just wanted to point out that, like, this was such a great opportunity. So many alpha females and alpha women
Can
that
you
we
hear her?
Yeah.
I can't hear. Okay, it's dead air. I don't hear anything.
Oh,
So
I hear.
okay,
That's
that's
your
good enough.
fault, George. You
This
did
is your
it.
fault, George. You did it.
What's that?
She says it's your fault if it's not working.
It's not working.
All on
It's
you.
just you, George.
Great. Give me an
Great.
award.
I
All right,
will, because
guys,
you're popular.
in the chat room, if you guys are able to hear Shani, let us know. Okay, they're saying yes, they can hear her. So, all right, no problem. So go ahead and go.
I told you it was George. Okay, so what I was going to say is that, like, never in the history of ever have so many alpha women come together to stand against a cause and work together and, be co-hosts on a show and do the things necessary to stop bullying and stop people from being shitty. Like you said earlier, this is an unregulated field of, career or entertainment or what have you. And quite honestly, like, when have this many women been like, no, we're going to come together, even though we're all different and we all have these very A-type personalities, and we're all ready to like form a fence and just stop bullying in its tracks. And I just want to say how proud I am of this paranormal field that we have so many great women like that. I'm really grateful.
Well, I appreciate. I feel the same way. I mean, I think that it's been a long time where people have watched this stuff happen and they've watched from the sidelines.
Right.
And again, everybody is so worried about offending somebody else or getting blacklisted or getting shunned or,
Right.
the people they like, now they're going to be mad at them. Like everybody just takes everything way too serious. But this is really the first time that, well, not this one, but I mean, this year has been the first time in a long, long time where I've seen a lot of the women in the paranormal actually come together, pull together, because normally we're fighting each other. Usually,
Right.
everybody's got something bad to say. So many people have come together, and even people who I know don't like other people who are supporting all this. It's mutually. It's not about their issues. It's about a common issue and a common goal. And I'm right there with you. I think that, it's been great that so many people have pulled together. I said this the other night on the show. A lot of people have been giving me credit for doing the shows and bringing attention to this. But I absolutely, I don't want that, I guess, I don't even know how to even put. I don't want that recognition from people because I was just all that I did was give a platform. I mean, there's been many people, that's in our chat room, a lot of people out there listening to the show have all been very, very played an active role in getting this information out. Although yes, the stream, yes, it does have a big following. It does get out to a lot of people, but there was a lot of people that are sharing the archive and getting it out to places where I wouldn't get it, and people are able to hear this. And again, with like Kaz, if there's one person out there that we help tonight,
That's all that
this
matters.
shows success.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This shows a success. And if it's connect, and when we have the next show and we call people out, if that's what happens, and they get put on blast, then people can make the decision and they'll have to deal with, the consequences of what they're doing. Some people may not care about what's going, but others may. And so that may say, oh, you know what? You're not a very good person and you're not somebody we want in our circles, because we don't want that negativity. So again, I thought that it was, I was being as fair as I possibly could be to give a 2 week span and allow these people who believe that this show are about only them, so to think about this and just change their behavior. That's all that needs to be done. That's it. Like, just grow the hell up. Stop bullying people. Stop threatening people. Stop going behind people's back and trying to, sabotage what they're doing in the field. Like, just stop. This field is big enough where we can all investigate. We can all do events. If somebody doesn't want you at the event, you can do your own damn event, or you can do your own show. You can do, the possibilities are endless, but there is nothing going on in this field where we should have this much drama and competition. It's just ridiculous. So I hope that we can pull together and, create, larger groups. We've got a small one that's growing. And I think that the more that we connect and we bring like-minded, positive people into this, it will help. It will help, and people will start finding their voice. They'll stop allowing people to get to them. They'll stop allowing people to walk over them. And they'll just finally get to the point where they say, you know what? You don't like me? Whatever.
Right.
Whatever.
It's not, but it's not. It's. You're absolutely right. What you just said. It is whatever. Who cares? It doesn't matter. I'm not here to have everybody love me or like me. It's because it's gone to the next level of threats. It's gotten serious. That's
Well,
the.
Maggie in the chat room says it definitely helped me. So see, Maggie, cat like all those people that have gone through this, whether you called in tonight or not, the fact that it's helped you in one way or another, that's what this was all about. This
Yep.
is what it was all about.
Yep. Absolutely.
Well, it's like the comment that I made on the original post that you made when you said you were setting out to do this was, even if it just stops people from, taking a moment and just thinking, God, I'm about to be an asshole to this person, but I could get called out for it. What if it stops them from doing that? Even those little things could prevent someone from being bullied or played or used or any number of things that are not acceptable and ethical in what we're trying to accomplish here within the paranormal.
That's right. And I'm not trying to, create more drama or whatever, but please
Clearly.
believe, this is nothing new from my show. And anybody that's followed in all the years that I've been on radio, I cover all kinds of topics, but please believe if you're out there doing some shady stuff and you're hurting other people and you are, a sty in the eye of the paranormal, I am definitely going to call you out. And if that maybe deters some people from, not wanting to be called out by name and put on blast out there, heed this warning because, again, I'm not going to stop. Like, this is going to be something that will continue. And unfortunately, obviously, we'll probably have a lot of these court docket shows because I have a feeling that it's not going to get any better. But hey, it is what it is. Lori says, plain and simple. Enough is enough. We shouldn't have to be babysitting other adults. And isn't that the truth? Girl, preach it. That's for real. But again, in our land of fantasy, that would make believe, that would be, that would be how we wouldn't have to babysit anybody. We wouldn't have to tell people that what they're doing and, threatening people and hurting people is not right. All that we could do all it, but this is the real world. And, so again, we have to find other ways to deal with it. And if that means that we got to bring these people into our paranormal, group, a support group, and, cover them and talk to them and give them the support that they need to get through that, that's what we're going to do. I mean, I know that there are plenty of us on this stream, plenty of people who've come on the show that, if somebody's going through this stuff, all they got to do is reach out. They know that they will get our support. We'll be there for them. Whatever we can do to help, we will. And again, you got some evidence to back up what you're saying, I'll be happy to put your friend or your people on blast. Not a problem. It just got to have the evidence to go behind it. All right. So before we get out of here, we got to talk about the paranormal donkey or paranormal court docket, donkey of the day. Okay? There's always one jackass that has to stand out. And although I said, I'm so tempted to break my own rule right now. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to announce who got the paranormal donkey of the day award or nomination. And we will find out why on that next show. Because this person's going to he wants a little more attention. He says he doesn't care about negative attention. I got some for him.
Guess we'll find out.
Oh, yeah. Well, most people will know him. He was on this show before, and obviously he's got a guilty conscience because he thinks this show is all about him. Wasn't even on my radar until he had to open his big mouth again. And I didn't give a shit that he talked about me and called me a paradrama queen. I will own that. Whatever. If that's what you say I am, that's what I am. It's all good there. But then you wanted to attack my co-host too.
Yep.
No.
And it's like, now mind you, he really needs to rethink what he's saying because he's talking about, they need to stop calling out drama and deal with their own drama than their own lives. And I'm like, buddy, please. just quit. Just I don't even know. He just wants some attention. I noticed after he came on the show and his ratings went up. Then all of a sudden, then he came on the show to when we did the dick pic exposure, and he was exposed on that. Now he can try to double back now and try to say that he didn't send that. Oh, it was 3 years ago. Oh, there was people who sent the stuff in as well. They can say all of this stuff. Doesn't matter. You did it. You admitted to it. Don't be mad now. But oh my god. Oh, never mind. I think that it's Kristen. Hold on. Hello?
Hey.
Hey, I figured it was Ray. We're closing the show, and I'm like, oh, I recognize that number. It was Kristen.
I knew I should stay on the phone for this.
All right. Well, as I said, I'm not going to go into all of it because I want to discuss that on the next show in complete full length. So, Mr. Steven Urkinaldo jerking off, whatever. I don't know what your name is right now because I always screw it up, but I know you're probably listening. I know you're probably watching. If not, you'll see it. We see you. Hello, the paranormal drama queens. Here we are.
And yeah, he's going to block us. I highly doubt it because he's going to
I'm already blocked.
know what the hell's going on.
Wait, I've been waiting for him to block me since I called him out on that show, and he's still there. Like, but I did notice that after the whole dick pic show, and he said, "Oh, good, bad publicity. Any publicity is good publicity." I noticed that he only has like 3 or 4 girls, commenting or liking his stuff, like the interaction and stuff. And I'll tell you, I got a lot of feedback from that.
That's about it.
Oh yeah, well, it's produced too, but he really doesn't want to go there with me either because he
producers should tell him to shut his mouth.
Well, they're not going to do that. But anyway, like I said, he really doesn't want to get into this tit for tat war because again, he's got a lot of secrets himself that he doesn't want to put out there. So we're just going to try to keep this copacetic, Mr. Steven. Again, I know that you love to be the center of attention. I know that you're your best, friend, and you pat yourself, you look in the mirror, and you say, "I'm awesome. I'm great. This whole field sucks, and I'm the only one important out there, and I can do it without anybody, and that's what I'm going to do, and I got a movie." Oh, by the way, as I put in my comment, psychically, I wouldn't go be boasting on that yet because I don't see a movie deal happening. Now, I could be wrong. It would probably be one of the first times in a long time, but if I'm wrong, I am more than woman enough to say I got this one wrong, but until then, yeah, send me.
He might be, but he'll probably be an extra in the movie.
Oh, I would be an extra. They offered to pay me. Are you kidding me? Seriously? Like, no.
I'm certain he has no movie. I see nothing. While you're saying that, I see zilch. But I'm going to send him a trophy though because he.
Well, I'm going to send him a certificate. I'm going to send him a certificate.
There you go.
Paranormal for the paranormal greatness and biggest ego
of the world.
Not the biggest penis in the field, but hey.
We'll give him an Oscar. We'll give him one of those little Oscar trophies.
I wonder if I could get a naked guy trophy, and then I could put emojis all over the penis and then send it to him. Look, Shanny's like, "Oh my God, last time I was just the F-worms flying," and she's like, "I cannot believe you're saying it." Oh yes, I can believe she's doing it, but this is great.
I can't believe you're doing it. The problem that I'm having is that honestly, I can't believe that he went there.
Hold on just a second, Kristen.
Calling us drama queen.
I know. Hold on.
We should shut up, and you're telling him to, follow his own.
Well, I told him take his own advice. That he's saying, instead of adding to the drama,
We forgot about him.
Well, exactly. He didn't. I forgot about it until he brought it up, and I was like, obviously, he needs a little more attention because it's fading, and he's not getting
this. He sure got
it. Well, we're gonna give, and I'm gonna give it even more because we're gonna put the screenshots, and I might even add a little extra stuff. But
shut up! I'm talking.
He did say that I said that I had proof that he had sent the dick pic. He tried to call my bluff when I said that I had it. And he was like, "Oh, I've never sent it." And I'm like, "Oh, but you did." And he
You
said,
did.
"Oh, but I didn't prove it." And I said, "Okay." And I sent it to him. I mean, it's a full frontal. It's got his whole face. I mean, come on. If you're going to send a dick pic, you should probably cut off all of like your head and the rest of your body, any recognizable stuff. Yeah, or you just shouldn't be doing that. But anyway, the reason I didn't, I can. I mean, I've got Photoshop. I can put some emojis over you, and I can put you out there. But I just didn't understand why I sent it to you. You knew I had it, and you knew where it came from.
Yeah,
I asked.
I wanted to make something clear to Stephen that I never said he sent it to me. I said I had the picture, and I wouldn't have done anything with it. I put a cloud with a vomiting rainbow over his penis that he claims goes down to his knee. Not even close.
Which we know isn't true because Christina told us.
I know. I'm surprised I didn't get blocked for that one, but I mean, I know I'm such a bad girl. But I mean, the whole thing is, he said, "Oh well, she didn't put any." I told him to send me the proof that, because he said he still wants a public apology. I said, if they were, I said they were. I said that no, hold on. Right, but I said that they were unsolicited from what I was told, and the conversations I saw of the people that he did send it to, I from all of what they sent me, there was no like back and forth conversation like, "Ooh, I would really like to see a dick pic of you or see you naked." No, it was nothing like that. It was like, "Oh, we're talking about random stuff," and then bam, there it is. So, I said, okay. He tried to tell me that, the people involved. Well, first he said there was nobody. Then there was one. Then he said there was a couple people. Then he said, "Oh, well, he's got a girlfriend," which he's professed he didn't have a girlfriend. I can't. He can't even keep the story straight. But I said, if it was a conversation where you were both, asking for naked pics of each other,
that's different.
Send me that conversation, because if I'm wrong or that person tried to make it seem it was the opposite way, I will give you a public apology.
You can't remember who you send dick pics to. You must send a lot of them.
You think?
Yep. Exactly.
You think? Yeah. But, either way, so, Stephen, you have got the Paranormal Court Docket Donkey of the Day Award. I will be sending it to you soon, unless you block me. Otherwise, you can expect it in your email or your messenger. I will make sure to get there. And he's
going to get it.
And we're going to go through it in detail because he wanted to be on the show so damn bad. We're not going to put him at the top of the docket. But what do you think, Judge George?
Put
Is
him at the
this enough to be held over for contempt of court, I think?
I think so, too. Just put him at the bottom. Don't give him too much. That's what he wants. He just wants to be out there. He's you know what? His credits is falling low. And he just wants to use this for his public relations. And you know what? Put him at the very bottom. We'll let him wait it out.
You know what you gotta love, though, is the people who want to call us paranormal drama queens and all this kind of stuff. They're the same people that are stalking my page and watching the shows. Because you only know what's going on in the shows if you're there. And just FYI, because you're on Facebook, when you click on the link, it does give me a little notification of who is online with us. So when you say, "Oh, I don't listen to her show," oh, but you do. But thank you so much. I appreciate that. Because again, any attention is good attention, according to you, Mr. Steven. So we will leave it at that. All right, everybody.
A few hours ago, he commented on my Parahor cover picture and wrote #Para Small Minds.
Well, Para Small
He sent me a message.
Did I say that?
He sent me a message 2 nights ago. So,
Oh, yeah, George got one, too, for wearing the Parahor shirt. Look, dude, you should already know, just as much as an ass as you can be, people in this field are the same way. You tell them, "Oh, don't do that," and it's done. Everybody's going to do it just to spite you. So
exactly.
But whatever. People, you try to use psychology and they don't realize that reverse psychology is being used on them themselves. So whatever, hey, I wish you luck in anything and everything you do. I think you have a great show going, but I think that you personally, that's going to be the career suicide. That's where I see your problem going. If you don't get yourself in check and stop going after everybody and talking down about everybody other than yourself, yeah, I don't see you around for a long time, which again saddens.
A lot of enemies.
Well, and again, that saddens me because I did think that he had a great concept, and again, personally, as him, when I've talked to him offline, nice guy, but there's a lot of people that I talk to that are really seem really nice. But again, it's like they've got that flip side, and so they can be that. So just like I would be your friend, if you're an asshole, I'm going to call you out for being an asshole. If you're a great guy, I'm going to say, hey, you're a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a little bit of both.
He's a good-looking guy, and he knows he's good-looking, but as soon as he opens up his mouth,
yeah, but ego and arrogance and all of that, again, sometimes people can have self-confidence and it comes off really well, like they're like, yes, I know that I'm good, but when you always got to talk down to everybody else to try to make yourself look bigger and better than everybody else, and you claim that you're the best, you don't need anybody else in this field, nobody doesn't like you. Dude, there were people investigating and doing stuff way before you're there. Now, are you extreme? Yes, but does that mean that you get any more evidence or you're any better? Hell no. I'm sorry. You're.
And I'm from South Florida, and numerous investigators in South Florida, we've never even heard of them.
Well, a lot of people haven't. A lot of people haven't until he got the show. And again, and just FYI, Stephen, I did see that you put down that, I have to lie to get ratings. Dear, I had good ratings way before you were ever on my show. So
have you seen his ratings?
Oh, I saw what you posted. So it's not what he claims.
Zero or more ones than there are fives or whatever, however they measure that.
Again, I don't have to bring people on to get ratings. I have a pretty steady audience every single week, not to just this show, but the same people. If you see the same people in this chat room, you go to the other show, you'll see them in that chat room. I mean, a lot of them, they follow both shows. They follow my page, they follow what we do, all of these different things. I don't need you, or I don't need to have a drama show to get ratings. I can do these shows because a whole lot of people do watch them. And so it will make an impact. Yeah, exactly. But it could be a good impact or it could be a bad impact. It really just depends. And every time you do some little asshole moves like this, it's just I'm going to call you out. It's going to make you look worse. But
there's always one asshole.
There's always one. There's one in the bunch. All right, guys. Thank you, Kristen, so much for being part of the show. Go ahead, Channy.
Thank you.
Because Kristen interrupted me. So what I was going to say was, I feel like you and George did a really good job on that particular live chat with Steven where you were trying to help him. Like, you were clearly saying, look, dude, like, we get it. We get that this is how you feel, but, we've been doing this a while. So maybe do this or try that, or maybe, check yourself before you wreck yourself, because we want to see you succeed, but you're standing in your own way. And so rather than taking the advice of two people that are clearly successful in the field, he decided to just continue doing it his way and seeing how that works out. So, I mean, just from the Amazon Prime, ratings alone, we can see how that works out. George pointed out, like, your fan base is your paranormal people. The general public is not interested in paranormal shows the way the paranormal community is. And if you shit on your community, they're not going to support you. And that's that. So he did it to himself in the end.
Completely agree. Go ahead, George. Shannon was just finishing talking. Go ahead.
No, I can't hear anything that Shannon's saying.
Right. Yeah. For whatever reason, you couldn't hear her, but that's all right. She was just thanking us, and she said that she really thought the way that we did the interview when we had Stephen on, that it was very fair, that we were really trying to give him advice and help him. It was never about having any ill will for him. And again, I haven't said anything publicly or privately about him online, anything. I really had moved on. I got too many other things going on in my life. And the fact that he went on my page and decided to make all these comments, well, my personal opinion is, first of all, if you've got a problem with what I'm saying, if you think that, first of all, if the shoe fits, wear it, because obviously he thought we are going to talk about him, which he wasn't even on the target list, but now he is. But, second of all, if you don't like what I do, if you think that I'm a drama queen, if you think I got to use you to get ratings, you think I'm a liar, you think I don't have proof, you think all these things, why the hell are you on my page?
Well, again, he's a guy. I mean, he's a guy. He's being a guy. I'd be the same way. I'm being a guy. I just didn't appreciate him giving me a long paragraph speech yesterday on my Facebook, and then he's telling me what to dress like or what not to wear, and how I said that I don't stand behind the Parahorse shirt, blah blah blah. It's a shirt. That's all it is. But after he's telling me all this stuff, then he tells me you don't contact him, etc. So I couldn't rebel. I couldn't say nothing to him. So he was giving me rules, and you're just not going to give me rules. I'm going to do whatever I want. So he was trying to be the upper hand, and he's not a bad guy. He just needs help. He just needs to again. We talked about this months ago. Stephen, you're a great investigator. Just investigate. And just let the ego go. You're a great investigator. Don't try to
Stop trying to be in competition with everybody. And again, in his own opinion, he thinks he has no competition, that he's the best, that everybody else is below him.
Steven, you pick any location and I'll investigate against you, and we'll call it. We can go head to head, and let's see who gets more evidence. I'll go to any location. 24-hour lockdown. 24-hour lockdown, and I assure you.
Can I cover it all for the show?
Absolutely.
What's on now?
24-hour. I challenge you, if we can make it fun. 24-hour lockdown, and I bet you'd be the first person running out of that building ghost white because you'll be scared.
Ooh, those a big word. Whoop, whoop. All right, we are going to close the docket with that. The judge has spoken. We have a official challenge put out there right now. So again, we all know, and you and I for sure, George, we know he's going to watch this. He was hoping I should have just not mentioned him, because that probably would have upset him more than anything. But I had to have a donkey of the day,
right?
And it just fit because it happened right before I went on the show. Otherwise, I wouldn't have mentioned him. But you got your shout out.
Yeah, and just so you know, Stephen, it's a friendly competition, man. It's just fun stuff.
That's right.
It's fun.
And tonight you won the competition, and you get the Paranormal Court Docket Donkey of the Day. And I will get that out to you soon.
Congrats, bro.
Exact. All right. Okay, everybody, we got to go. I have, we actually almost did the full 3 hours anyway, so we did pretty good. Thanks, everybody, for joining again. Not this Sunday, but this Monday, but the next Monday, we will be doing the exposing show. If you have somebody that is bullying you, is threatening, attacking, any of those things, if you want to send in the evidence, you can send it into the Paranormal Connections radio show page or to my page privately. You must send me the story as well as the evidence to back it up. And then you will be required to join the show to share your evidence. Again, we are not the ones that are going to put everybody on blast. We're going to allow the victims to come forward, stand up, take their power back, and put the bullies on blast themselves.
Boom.
Boom. All right, everybody. You guys have a great night. Have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday on Paranormal Connections, a regular show. And got a great show. We're going to have the military medium. Very, very interesting guy. So with some interesting stories. So he'll be there, and then we'll be back in 2 weeks. Also, make sure to join myself and Renee, possibly George, because Renee's got a new job where it happens to be cutting into that. So he might be there with me, but we will be talking about some top trending, strange news. And boy, oh boy, it never ends. There's plenty of it. All right, everybody, have a great weekend, and we will see you soon.
Good night, everybody. Take care.